What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What is up? How are y'all doing today? It is Friday. My goodness, it has been a while. I apologize for the technical difficulties earlier on. I don't know how that got on there, but you know, I'm gonna fire whoever put that up there. I think I got hacked, but I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. Don't you worry about that. But y'all, man, oh man, have I missed all of y'all. My goodness. Ooh, it has been far too long. But as y'all know, I was not on last week because I had my very first, or I should say our very first family vacation. So it was me and the Noisette tribe. We all got together, for a long awaited family trip. We finally made it out to, matter of fact, I got a couple of clips here for y'all. We made it out, y'all, to Disney World. That is right. You know, your boy got out there with the babies. This was their very first time ever going out there. So you know, we had a chance to like just unwind and just chill, go out to the Magic Kingdom, you know. And for me, this was like absolutely everything. I mean, the babies were just like, look at the baby's face. Don't look at my face. Don't look at my face, but look at the baby's face. You know, they just had a good old time. Oh, I got the oldest. Yep, that's the, oh yes, we got her there. I think, what was this? This was Space Mountain. Got them real good. We got the nice look at the kingdom at the when it was nighttime. Little silliness right there. You know, look at me trying to hold on to the baby. I gotta hold on to the baby just in case. You know, that was her first roller coaster. I don't know what is wrong with the oldest Sydney. I don't know what's wrong with her, but she is having a good old time. Look at Sophie all in the front, just closing her eyes, having a good old time. You know, what ride was this? This was the Everest ride. This was crazy. This was crazy. If y'all ever been on that Yeti ride at Disney World, oh wait, that was some fun. Animal Kingdom. There we go on the dinosaur ride. Look at the queen. Look at the queen. She out there looking at the T-Rex. The T-Rex coming together. I don't understand what Cindy is doing. I swear she be posing. Look at the hands on the face. You know, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? But yes, the family is out, and we had such a phenomenal time going to all the parks, and it was just so beautiful. Yeah, I tried to pose. I don't know. I think I looked at the wrong camera, but that's okay. You know, it was gonna be an epic picture, but I couldn't do it. I hit the wrong camera, but that's all right. We got there anyway. You know, had a good old time, and you know, I could not be happier of not only having some time to just decompress and to collect myself, but just to be able to be with my family, reconnect. Because you know, a lot of times, you know, people be like on social media and everybody be on their phone, and I'm guilty. You know, I mean, obviously I'm a content creator, so it's a little bit different, but it's real easy to kind of forget connecting with the people that you're closest with, you know. So I was extremely happy that we had this moment to really kind of come together, hang out, um and just have like a really good time together. No disrespect to nobody out there, but Orlando, y'all food is trash. Okay, y'all got the work. Listen, we went out to, I want to say, at least 8 different restaurants. Maybe 2 of them were good. Shout out to Bahama Breeze, y'all was nice. And shout out to Cheddar's in Orlando, y'all was good. Everybody else trash. Okay, all of y'all was just trash. I mean, the fact that we came home and we had collective bubble guts, the fact that we had indigestion, you know, no, that ain't right. What is wrong with y'all? Orlando, y'all in the South, y'all ain't got no reason not to be good. What is wrong with y'all? Ooh, that food was bad. But yes, anyway, had a good time. But hey, look, unfortunately, because I was away for so long, a whole week, My goodness, we have so much news to get into. So I'm gonna look, y'all know I usually make excuses. I usually be like, hey, y'all, we about to make this quick and this and look, we gonna be here for a couple hours. Okay, we gonna be here for a minute. I'm about to go through all the news from last week. I'm gonna try and go fast, and then I'm gonna go through all the news of this week, this current week. So hold on to your butts. We gonna be here for a minute. Just giving you a heads up now. I ain't even gonna try and make up excuses or nothing. We gonna be here for a minute. Shout out to the replay gang. I will absolutely have some more clips and stuff for everybody as well. And we will get those out for you too. So let me see. Hold on. First of all, do I see my little homie in the chat? Hold on. I think I see. Let me see where she at. There she go. Intergalactic Space Captain. That's my little homie right there, Miss Aubrey. How you doing, ma'am? So glad that you could be here tonight. Appreciate you. We probably gonna be going well into your bedtime, so just a little heads up for you there. Now we're gonna do some quick shout outs. Because like I said, we have so much stuff to get into. So much stuff I just need to at least kind of quickly touch on. So we're not going to spend as much time on the things that came out the week before. I'm going to try and rush through those. And by the way, another little update. I can't stay on for too long because I got to get ready because my little baby sister is getting married tomorrow. So shout out to my little sis, Navi. I love you. I cannot wait to celebrate you tomorrow. It is going to be such a beautiful occasion. So, all right, let's go with some quick shout outs, see who's here today, and then we're going to jump into the plethora of news that we have tonight. Let's see, my man Jay is here. What's going on? Hey, you got your tie right there. You got it. Thanks, sir. Let's see, Latrice, hello. Good to see you. Callow, hello. Brody, what's up? The homie Rim 17 is here, y'all. That's my squad, top vet in the building. How you doing? Latrice is here. Another top vet, my squad. Kristen Pratt is here. Cynthia Charles, hello. Minister Crush, Miss Harper. Can't forget Miss Harper. How you doing, ma'am? Good to see you. My man Derek Gaines is here. What's going on? Top vet, top supporter as well. My man Big Bo is here. What's going on, brother? Followed by Johnny Washington. What's going on? Shauna's, hello. Good to see you. Carbro, good to see you as well. Talented one, thank you so much. Good to see you. Big Bo with a quick comment. Let's see. Fantasy football, bro. I wish I had time. I usually do like almost 20 plus leagues in a year, paid, by the way. I don't do no free leagues. But I gotta slim down because in this fall, I have a lot of stuff that I'm doing. I got some events that I have to go to. I got some traveling that I have to do. I got a matter of fact, to be straight up with you, I kind of have to budget my money and kind of, I can't spend as much as I normally would on fantasy and stuff like that because I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling. So, the wallet's a little tight right now. So fantasy's gonna get the axe. So, that's where I'm at with it. But thank you so much, big boy. I appreciate you. Screaming Monkey, good to see you. Thank you so much. SJ Evans, another top vet, top mod squad in the building. Joey's back. What's going on? Good to see you. Thank you so much. Kimmy J is here as well. The Queen, come on now. Mrs. Noisette, hello, ma'am. Always a pleasure to see you in and out the chat. Love it. Thank you so much, babe. Appreciate you being here. Let's see. Minister Crush is here as well. Good to see you. Let's see. We're gonna keep going. My man Angel Gonzalez is here. Good to see you, sir. My man Gray is here. What's up? Capria, how you doing? My man Didier's back. Thank you so much. Let's see. Pamela, I see you. Thank you so much for being here. My man Eric is here. Thank you. Carvan, what's up? Rizzo, what's up? Rhonda, hello. Another homie, Alib is here. Oh. I saw Behind the Mask. Okay, there you go. I seen it. Fantastic. Highly recommend it for anybody on Disney Plus. Marvel's Behind the Mask. If you really want to see what it means to be a hero under a mantle and whether mantles matter, go watch Disney's Marvel's Behind the Mask. fantastic. I apologize for taking so long and watching it, but while I was on the plane ride to Orlando, I did get a chance to watch it because I didn't want to leave yelling at me again. So I finally got a chance to see it. Loved it. It was great. They have a wonderful piece about T'Challa specifically on there, and I couldn't recommend it anymore. Fantastic. Thank you so much for that recommendation. Tyra is here. Thank you so much. Nelson, what's up? Optimus, hello, good to see you. Let's see, Goldilocks, good to see you too. All right now. Who else? Black Widow, hello, good to see you. Ikuri, hello, good to see you too. DJ Payne, I see you. Let's see, Lorna, hello. Travis, what's going on? Ms. T, I see you too. Thank you so much for joining. Let's see, Keita, hello. Chill Spot, what's going on? Hello. Naries, hello. Let's see, Sean, what's going on, bro? Good to see you again. Monique, hello, good to see you too. My man D Steels, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Deborah, hello, good to see you. Always a pleasure. Naisha, hello, good to see you. 72 Paths, I see you as well. Roberta, hello. Alexander, hello, how are you? Let's see, DJ, what's up? Lou, what's up? Let's see. I'm trying to go on my square. I see you too. I'm moving. Soto, hello. JP, what's up? And let's see, I think we're almost there. MC, hello, my man Ernest, what's up? And shout out to everyone that is joining us tonight. I appreciate you guys making it in. Like I said, we about to be in here for a while, so please get comfortable because we about to get into this. Let me grab some of these comments and then we're gonna jump into the topics because, like I said, we got a whole lot. Laser Break, hey E-Man and E-Fam, hello back to you. Thank you so much for that contribution. Really appreciate you. Let's see who else we got. My man Ernest, what you got? Have you been on the Tower of Terror? Did it once and I was done. I freaked out and my daughter had to hold my hands. Let me tell you something. I don't really do very well with heights. I can do roller coasters, but I can't do big drops. That's just not for me. And unfortunately, I've seen one too many stories and them rides not working and stuff. Couldn't do it. And I couldn't convince my younger kids to do it with me anyway. The funny thing, I'll give you a quick story. As we were driving towards Hollywood Studios, and I was like, yeah, we about to do this Tower of Terror, right? And while we driving, I look out the window and I see the tower, and I looked at my wife and I was like, is that where we finna drop? Is like, because I can see it, and we like 10 miles away. How can we see that from here? And I got to drop from there. And she was like, yeah, that's it. And I was like, no, that's not it. We're not doing this. Like, nah. So I don't care. I said, no, it's not happening. If I can see it from that far away, no, that's a no. That's a nope. So yeah, to answer your question, that's a hot no. Thank you so much, Ernest. Room, thank you so much. I don't know where your comment is, but I'm going to try and find it as I scroll. But thank you so much for throwing in that support. Really appreciate you. My man Eric, let's see. Oh yeah, Anne Hesh did die. That is so sad. Rest in peace to Anne Hesh. That was super sad with that whole situation. But unfortunately, hey, look, drugs, and I haven't read up on the situation too much, but I heard there was like some drug relations and stuff like that. That is definitely going to be an issue for anyone. But I hope that the friends, family, and everybody, condolences to all of them. Let's see. Eric, I'm actually going to skip your comment because I really don't want to get into spoilers, even if it's rumors. But thank you so much for that contribution regardless. All right, so we have we're gonna, usually we try and get rid of the bad news. We're gonna go through that first. So in light of Anne Hesh, we also lost another one, which was Olivia Newton-John. Sadly, we did lose her as well. If you recall, she was an Australian songstress, so great singer, the star of Grease, right next to John Travolta. She also passed away. I believe she was battling breast cancer for some time. I think she had beat it, come back, beat it, come back. But unfortunately, she did end up losing her life. So that is very, very sad, for sure. And so condolences to her, and friends and family as well. So let me, like I said, I am going to kind of go through these a little bit faster than usual. Hold on, my homie got something to say. Hold on. Ah, the homie. Yes, Aubrey, you got your moms there. Tell your mama I said hello. How you doing? Thank you for joining as well. But yes, I don't know if y'all have seen Grease, but if you haven't, I would recommend it. It's probably one of the few musicals that I like actually enjoy, because I'm not really a musical person, but I will say that Grease was pretty good, right? And she killed it. She did like a fantastic job on that. And yeah, she is absolutely going to be missed. So let's see. There was also another one, unfortunately, and we lost a lot of people. Like, so you know, I apologize if I can't cover everybody, but I did want to take a quick moment to talk about legend that was lost, and that is Nichelle Nichols. We lost her, unfortunately, as well, but she lived. Hey, she lived to a very good age of 89. And you know, if you know, she was like Lieutenant Aurora on Star Trek. And she was more than just an actress. She was more than just a Trekkie, you know. And her backstory, if you're not familiar, is pretty important, you know. She made history, and not so much to the so much so that even Martin Luther King Jr. took notice of her. You know, she played on Star Trek. She was a black person in a position of authority. Okay, so she wasn't just some red shirt, you know, that was going to get killed off. You know, she was actually playing someone of significance. And you know, in the series, she actually she was involved with a lot of stuff, right? I mean, her and William Shatner even engaged in an interracial kiss, right? And you're talking about during the 60s, that was controversial. That was, you know, the network was worried. They were like, yo, can we even air this? Like a white man kissing a black woman? Like, are the southern states going to cancel the show? Are they going to boycott, etc.? And it was funny because in that article, they talked about how, or she had recalled how they filmed the scene for the kiss, but because the network was kind of like, nah, scrap it, we gonna reshoot it. All the reshoots, her and William Shatner purposely messed up. They purposely sabotaged those other scenes. And then the network was like, man, whatever, we just gonna roll with it. They probably gonna cancel Star Trek anyway. So they just went ahead and roll with it. But she was such a pioneer in the television and entertainment space. And the story, the most common story, if you haven't heard about her, was the fact that she was about to leave. She was going to leave the series until she had a chance meeting with Martin Luther King Jr. And he was like, hey, you know what? Your Star Trek is like one of the few shows that I actually let my kids stay up late to watch because of you. And she was like, oh, thanks. By the way, I'm leaving the show. And he was like, whoa, wait a minute. You can't do that. You cannot leave because you are a symbol. Like, you represent something bigger than yourself. You are a black character on screen that's not a servant. That's not a, you know, there just to be black. You're not there just to be that. Like, you actually have significance. And because of that, she changed her mind and stayed on the show. And even when her character was recast by Zoe Zalanda later on in the newer Star Trek movies, even Zoe was sitting here saying like, yo, Nichelle inspired me and so on and so forth. And it's those are the type of stories that kind of like help people understand why representation matters. It was so significant for her to just be on screen, just to be seen, because it breaks down a lot of those barriers later on. And she was very, very good. And she will absolutely be missed. So, rest in peace to the queen, Nichelle Nichols, because she was absolutely Black history, and a very, very important staple in the entertainment community. All right. Let's get some of these. I think I got a couple comments. Uh let's see. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Okay, I see a comment here from Jonah. Okay, I'm not gonna highlight it because I don't really like having personal questions on the show. Like, I'd rather have questions that are related to the topics highlighted. But to answer your question, me and B Avery are fine. Like, ain't no issues. I was tired. Like, I be tired. I be busy. If you don't see me on Brandon's show, it's because I have other things to do. But no, ain't no issues. Like, we still talk, we still cool. Like, it's all good. So, we're fine. Let's see what else. Eric, what you got? Van Lathan defended your recast T'Challa in the interview. Did you see it? Can I? I don't know which one you're talking about. I do know I posted something that he said a couple weeks ago about like his last commentary of recasting T'Challa. I posted that on my Twitter and Instagram. So just in case, make sure y'all following me so you don't miss stuff. But I have posted that if that's what you're referring to. But if there was something else, I haven't seen that. Let's see. My man Puma, what you got? What's up, E? It's Freaky Friday. And Nichols was just on Who Do You Believe about her son and neighbor. Rest in peace to a queen, and that kiss was legendary. Cool. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, Puma. Let's see. Reinhardt, what you got? I had the pleasure of meeting Nichelle in 1993 and even did security for her at the convention, and she was wonderful, kind, and sweet. That is really dope. Congratulations on having that privilege. I wish I could have met her. I never had the chance, but that is awesome. Thank you so much for that. Let's see. Okay. Speaking of recasting, Aurora would still be a household name because of Celia Gooding playing her now and putting their spin on the character too. Facts. Yes, that's the beauty of recasting. That, like, recasting works by keeping actors relevant just along with the characters. So absolutely. But yes, thank you so much for that. Speaking of Brandon, what's going on, bro? Thank you so much. I think I know why you laugh, but okay. Like, I don't know why people would think like there's an issue. Like, we're good. Anywho, thank you so much. Let's see. Jay, no, we are not doing any more T'Challa. Thank you so much, though. All right, let's move on. What else did we miss? Okay, so this is some more stuff. Okay, so we talked about how there was a Drago spinoff, and when that spinoff was happening, we had talked about whether it should be a TV series or whether it should be a movie. Well, none of that matters because Stallone was pissed. Woo, man, my man Sly was mad. He just went off talking about he wants the credit back, and he was just mad that the producers were doing this without him, and he wanted to have something for his family and all this stuff. Now, first of all, bro, I'm gonna need you to okay, I'm gonna tell you the one time I've seen this work. So I'm not gonna be terribly mad at Stallone. Now, one thing I will say is that definitely should have been a conversation behind closed doors. I think that Stallone should have gone ahead, talked to people behind door, whatever. However, the one reason why I'll say I'm not terribly upset about him coming out and blasting the producers and stuff like that for something that he does not own. Yes, he wrote, he directed Rocky stuff here and there and all that, but he does not own it. Okay, so you signed the contracts, you don't own it. You do have money, you could go buy it. I'm assuming you could go buy it and give those rights to your kids and so on and so forth. But that's that. But the one time that this actually worked was with Dave Chappelle. Don't forget, Dave Chappelle did not own the Chappelle Show. He did not own the rights to it, but his name was on there, his imagery, etc. And Dave Chappelle sat there and was like, "Hey, y'all, don't go watch it." And what happened? Nobody went to watch it on Netflix. Numbers tanked, and Netflix was like, "Yo, we gonna pay you," and everything worked out in Dave Chappelle's favor. So I don't know if Sly is kind of trying to take a page from that same book, trying to maybe get public pressure and maybe bully or pressure them to giving them the right. I don't know. I just don't think that's gonna work. I don't think so. I think it would be a lot better if he just ended up like trying to work a deal and being like, "Look, let's get co-producer rights. Let me give you a couple $100 million or whatever, buy those rights so my kids can have it." Yada yada yada. I don't know. But anyway, while Sly was tripping over this, he was calling out Dolph Lundgren too, because he was like, "Yo, hey yo, how can you do me like this? Why would you do this? You're my friend. Why wouldn't you do this and call me?" Right? So he's over here like mad, and Dolph came out and responded, was like, "Yo, hold on. Ain't nothing even in the works. I didn't even do nothing." He was like, "Yo, this ain't even, I thought," Dolph was like, "I thought Sly was in on the whole thing. So ain't nothing actually happening." So you know what? I like the fact that Dolph came out and actually cleared the air. I do kind of wish that, again, that should have been a phone call. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, yo, hey, why didn't you call me when you did the, like, you gotta, Sly, you got his number, just call him. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you gotta put this all out there? It's just a little messy. That's all I'm saying. It's a little messy, but I respect the fact that that Dolph at least said like, "Yo, I didn't know nothing about it. I thought this was cool." I don't know if he's telling the truth or not, but I'm gonna take him for his word. But right now it seems like all of this talk about a Drago spinoff is just talk and nothing is actually concrete. So anyway, we'll see where that goes. But how do you feel? How do you feel about this Drago spinoff? I don't know why I put Creed spinoff. It's not a Creed. Well, I guess it's a spinoff of the spinoff. Whatever. How do you feel about this Drago spinoff maybe not really being a thing? How do you feel about Sly not really being attached, but maybe could be attached? Do you even care about a Drago spinoff? Let me know in the comments down below. All right, let's see. What else do I have? We had another topic. I'm trying to go fast. Woo! Oh boy, this was fun. I enjoyed reading this while I was on the plane. So James Franco, I don't know if y'all recall, but James Franco's had some issues. Like, he's had some cancel culture, some Me Too movement stuff. Basically, he's been canceled, for X amount of time. But all of a sudden, it seems as though he is now going to be cast as Fidel Castro, the Cuban revolutionary leader, um, and in a new movie. Okay. And when this announcement came out that he was going to play this Cuban leader, whoo, some people were not happy. And by some people, I mean John Leguizamo. He was like, "Yo, he ain't no Latino. How is this still going on, man? What? He ain't even Cuban. What is this?" So John Leguizamo goes on to say, how is this still going on? How is Hollywood excluding us, but stealing our narratives as well? No more appropriation, Hollywood and streamers. Boycott! This is effed up. Plus, seriously, difficult story to tell without aggrandizement, which would be wrong. I don't got a problem with Franco, but he ain't Latino. He ain't Latino. Wow. Okay. Well, hey, look, let me tell you something. I'm not from the Latino Hispanic community. So it is not my place to judge whether somebody is Latino or not. With that said, there's some caveats here. Okay. I ain't never in my life heard James Franco identify with the Latin community. I ain't heard this man speak no Spanish, nothing. I don't know. Now, I have heard that he has Portuguese, Swedish, and Russian in his family. Whether that counts or not, I don't know. When I've listened to other people in the Latin community, they don't consider Portuguese as Latin. Again, I ain't got no dog in that fight. I'm just saying that's what the community has been saying. Okay, so don't say E-Man said no. E-Man ain't say nothing. I ain't say nada. Okay, I don't even know how to speak Spanish. Okay, no Espanol at all. Okay, I just don't know. But I will say that the Latin community is not happy with this. Now, at the same time, the producer of this show, of this movie, because by the way, this movie is not about Fidel Castro. It's about his daughter instead. So what ended up happening was the producer fired back at John Leguizamo. Okay, so now this is kind of like, Latino versus Latina, going back and forth. Again, I'm staying out of this, but I'm just going to report it. Here's what she had to say. A guy like Leguizamo has historically been looked up to by Hispanics as one of America's earliest actors of Latin descent since the 90s, and I've always admired him as a fellow underdog. But his comments are culturally uneducated and a blind attack with zero substance related to this project. The reality of the ignorance piece falls within the statement suggesting his personal view on being Latino, because a landmass or living area does not determine a person's blood history or genetics. She goes on to say, Leguizamo's note is a great talking point because they represent the same confusion and identity crisis in Hollywood right now within the Hispanic community in America, who are arguing that we should only identify as Latin, which is mostly because of the falsehoods being spread by the actors who are supposed to be representing us, but instead create division amongst their own people. Well, let me tell you, once again, that ain't none of my business. I don't know nothing about none of that. I cannot be I can't even weigh in on that. That if that's how y'all feel and that's how y'all community feels, okay. Okay. But I will say that I understand where John Leguizamo's coming from, right? Because where he's coming from is when there are roles that could go to Latin actors, it is kind of a shot, a punch in the gut to bypass those. Javier Bardem, Pedro Pascal. Like you could have maybe went to somebody else to go play Fidel Castro. You could have. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Franco does kind of look like him. Franco does kind of look at that. Look at that. And look at that. You see the pictures? I'm not gonna lie. He does kind of look like a young Fidel Castro. So I also cannot throw that out. I'm not. He does look like him. So again, you know what? like I said, I ain't even gonna weigh in on this. I feel like that's for the Latin community, the Hispanic community. Y'all could argue about it. If I got anybody in the comments from that community that could weigh in, please feel free. I would love to hear how you all think about it. I know we have where's Tati? I know Tati is out here from Brazil. Yo, hit us up. Let us know how you feel about this. You know, anybody else weigh in. How do you feel about James Franco coming in to play Fidel Castro? And yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Speaking of comments, I got hold on, hold on. Marcy Sakpase. Hey there, how you doing? You know, not boule. eBay, you know the drill. Oh, snap. Okay, hold on. We got Marcy is out here blessing the channel. Let me go ahead and check this out. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Let me send some love right back to you, Marcy. Thank you so much for the $50 cash app. Really appreciate you. She says for sorry I'm late, but I'm listening in. RecastTChalla. Marcy, you are never late. You are always on time, and I appreciate you so much for the generosity that you continuously show to this channel. So thank you so much for that. Let's see. I'm gonna try and keep it moving. Hold on. I almost skipped some. Hold on. Let's see, my man Buzz. I'm late. Good evening, paying my late fee. Nah, bro, you know ain't no late fees around here. But thank you, bro. I appreciate seeing you either way. Better late than never. That's always that's my little motto with that. All right, let's move on. Okay, so we got James Franco out the way. Oh, man, I'm trying to fly through this. Speaking of flying through, y'all, Tom Cruise. I don't really know when Tom Cruise like sleeps. Like when does he sleep? When does he like take a break? Because this dude be working and he's like 60 something years old and he just stay busy forever. Man, as if Top Gun wasn't enough, Tom Cruise and Christopher McQuarrie are plotting a new musical, an action thriller, and more or less Grossman while speedy flying through Mission Impossible 8. Let's not forget, my man is still he's doing Mission Impossible 7 and 8 back to back, and he's still working on 3 other movies, and that's fresh off of the fantastic film of Top Gun Maverick. When does he sleep? When? I don't know if Tom Cruise is still a real person. He either got some clones or he a robot or something is going on. But here's what he's trying to do. Let me see here. So one of the things that he's doing is an original song and dance musical they'll craft as a star vehicle for Cruise. So I don't know what kind of musical that is. I know he did do, what is it, Rock of Ages or something like that. Where he did like the rock and roll thing. So that was something, you know, that he did already. Looks like they're going to do that again. He's also setting up another original action film with franchise potential. Now, this I like, because what this is, you have to realize how we've talked about this before. If you ain't Marvel, Star Wars, or some recognizable IP, it is so rare to get something original that sticks. And let me give you a quick example. John Wick. John Wick wasn't tied to nothing. John Wick came out of nowhere. The first movie didn't even do that much, but it started to become like a cult classic. And all of a sudden it came out with John Wick 2, which was great. And then John Wick 3. And now we about to have 4, 5, you know, and I think 6 and some spinoffs too. So that's when I hear that he wants to do an original action thriller. Yes, that's what he said. I believe an action thriller or an action film. And it has franchise potential. I hear John Wick. I hear that potential of having something that nobody has any preconceived notions on. No one has no expectations with. The only expectation you have is it's Tom Cruise. And I think at this point, we can go into a movie theater with Tom Cruise attached to the film, and realize the man's gonna give us some quality. I'm not saying he hits every time, but he does hit most of the time. And Tom Cruise is one of the few actual superstars in Hollywood. He's one of the few actors that can make a movie and you have no idea what it's about and still go in there and be like, you know what? I think I'm gonna like this anyway because it's Tom Cruise. So I am very, very down for that. But they're also saying that they're gonna have him be Les Grossman, and I don't know if you recall him from Tropic Thunder, that you know, the weird producer guy that was doing all the dancing and everything. Yeah, that was him. So we don't know how that's going to work. We don't know if they're going to do a series for Les Grossman. We don't know if that's going to be a spin-off movie with him. I think the interesting thing about it is, though, because Les Grossman, in a sense, he was, I think he was kind of sort of patterned after Harvey Weinstein, I think. So I kind of wonder, what direction are you going to go in with that? You know, again, is he going to be a running joke in just something else? I don't know. But hey, if Tom Cruise is about to get back in the makeup and do the Les Grossman, I'm here for it. Like, I want to see what they do with it. You know, because again, don't forget, comedy changes over time, you know, and the real judge is, can you adapt? Because what was funny in 2008 might not be funny in 2022. What was funny in the 90s definitely might not carry over in 2022. So, you know, we just gonna have to wait and see. But like I said, Tom Cruise stays just working. Like, my goodness, dude just does not rest. But how are you feeling about a Tom Cruise musical, an action film that has an original action film that is gonna have potential for a possible franchise, and Les Grossman coming back? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. All right, let's get to some of these comments real quick. Let's see. Room, what you got? Aside from not being of Latin descent, doesn't James Franco have enough problems when it comes to younger female actresses? Yeah, as I mentioned, Franco did have like some allegations and all this stuff. And I, you know, forgive me, I have not really looked deep into that. Because I just haven't looked too deep into it. I just know that he was gone for a minute. And apparently, unless your name is Harvey Weinstein, cancel culture is nothing but a timeout culture. It's really just you taking a timeout, you go hide for 3-4 years, and you can come back. Hey, Mel Gibson, how you doing? So, you know, clearly it ain't gonna be that big of a deal if you just go away and you come back later. And, you know, yeah, some people might say something, but I'll tell you this: if James Franco comes in and he does a fantastic job, I mean, gets best supporting actor and, you know, all this other stuff, people gonna forget and people not gonna care. I guarantee you. Like, I keep telling people, when it comes to movies and entertainment, fans are kind of no different than sports fans. You could have the worst human being on your team, but if they play like LeBron James, if they win championships like Tom Brady, you gonna stop caring because everybody likes a winner. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with James Franco. Maybe nothing happens. Maybe he just kind of goes back and fades again. I don't know. But we'll see what happens. Thank you so much for that. Room full of blurs. Ty with the super sticker, as always. Thank you so much, Ty. Appreciate you all the time. Eagles, what you got? James Franco's father is of Portuguese descent. Yes. So okay, I'll take your word for it. Like I mentioned earlier, you know, according to his heritage, Portuguese, Swedish, and Russian. I don't know what box James Franco checks off on the census. Does he check off Hispanic or does he check off white? I don't know. I'm just saying, as I've seen him navigate throughout Hollywood, I haven't personally seen him identify with Latin roots. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. I don't know. I'm just saying I haven't seen it. But anyway, I'm not gonna judge whatever. Like I said, let the Latin community work that out themselves. That's y'all discussion. So let's go on. to the next one. Okay, so we got Tom Cruise. Okay, so speaking of like remakes, y'all, Roadhouse is having a remake. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I have not seen Roadhouse, because Roadhouse came out, I want to say 1989. Don't quote me on that. I think it was 89. And this was from this starred the late great Patrick Swayze. And after he this was like one of those movies that was kind of like a cult classic. I don't think it broke numbers or anything like that. But Roadhouse was definitely something that people really enjoyed. Now, I kind of got introduced to Roadhouse late. I'm not gonna lie. My introduction to Roadhouse first started with with Family Guy. And like when Family Guy started talking about it, I was like, what is Roadhouse? Let me go watch Roadhouse. Listen, I was too young. I was an 80s baby, so I didn't watch it when it first came out. But yo, every time I think about Roadhouse now, I do think about Family Guy.
Here's your burger, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, I need another $1.25.
Is that right? Keep the change. Roadhouse.
Roadhouse. That's the only thing I be thinking of now. That's all. Every time I think of it, I cannot get Peter Griffin out my head. So, but now it looks like we are going to get a remake, and it's going to star Jake Gyllenhaal, and this is going to come through Amazon Studios, no less. So they are going to. Here's some of the cast that is going to be here. I have to be very honest with you. I don't know nobody on here except for Jake Gyllenhaal. That's the only one I can recognize on this list. But I will say that I like the idea of a remake here, because honestly, remakes, I don't have a problem with remakes. I think remakes are fine if there's enough time in between. Like I don't like for example, you want to remake the Avengers. Hell no, it's too soon. That was only 10 years ago. Like, no, you can't do that. Now, if you want to remake something that was like 30 years ago, where people that watched it initially actually had kids and those kids grew up, now go ahead, make a remake, because now you have a generational period where we can appreciate stuff, things can be upgraded a little bit, and so on and so forth. So, oh my God, Miss Harper, don't do that. Is Jake gonna shower? Come on now, don't do that. I remember Jake don't like taking baths. We remember this. Unfortunately, a little too well, especially with his last little cameo in Spider-Man. What was that? Far From Home. Damn it, Jake. Damn it. Anyway, so if Hollywood want to go ahead and make this remake, I'm totally cool with it. And on top of that, Jake Gyllenhaal is like a very good actor. Like, he's one of my favorite actors. Like, dude can act. I'm pretty sure he can do the action scenes as well. So I got no problem with watching this. I'd actually be more interested to see what upgrades they do with this, right? We've seen them just do a remake for Top Gun Maverick, an 80s classic, and they went ahead and made it more modern today. I don't think that's going to be that hard to remake Roadhouse. As long as my man can hit them, them roundhouse kicks. Now you're going to have to get them kicks. So I hope he's stretching. Get them kick. You got to get that. You got to almost get that Van Damme stretch kick up there. If he can get them kicks, I'm down with it. I'm down with it. So anyway, y'all let me know, how do you feel about the Roadhouse remake? Are you down for it? Are you looking forward to it? Are you kind of iffy on it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right, let's move on. I got a couple comments I'm gonna grab real quick. Hold on. All right, got that one. All right. Here we go. 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 Puma, what you got? I first thought it not Robert Downey in Tropic Thunder. Haunted House is also being remade. Yes, the Eddie Murphy one. Yes, I think they said Johnny Depp, I think, is in that or something. Don't quote me on it. But I'm not gonna watch it. I didn't watch the Eddie Murphy Haunted House. I'm not gonna watch that remake anyway. But thank you so much, Puma. I appreciate you. Let's see. The Fallen. What's up? Roadhouse is one of many movies I watched as a kid. It's also a movie that became unintentionally funny as years passed. Okay, see now I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it because I haven't watched it like I don't know. Like I just completely forgot the movie. I just remember Patrick Swayze was like telling people to be nice, and he would just roundhouse kick the mess out of people, with them boots. Oh, getting hit with them pointy little cowboy boots. That stuff hurt. So I have to go back and rewatch it myself. But thank you so much for that. Let's see. Puma back at it. I thought it was the Rock and Tropic Thunder. Okay, thanks for that. Who else? I think that's it. All right, let's move on. Well, I guess we're gonna keep up with the remakes. So, I don't know if y'all have watched this or not, but there has been a recent Tomb Raider movie franchise that came out. This franchise has been under MGM, and they did it with Alicia Vikander, and it was cool. It was cool. I think I have a review on it on my channel actually. But the review was cool. I'm sorry, not the review. The review was cool. But the movie was cool. If you've ever played the video game Tomb Raider with Lara Croft, remember that was also previously starring Angelina Jolie. Then it was recast with Alicia Vikander. And it looks like that trend is going to continue because Tomb Raider, there was a bidding war that erupted and MGM lost the movie rights. So what does that mean? Because of the fact that they lost the rights to it, now all these different studios are about to put their bids in. They are gonna put their bids in to try and get it. So that's Amazon, that's Apple, that's I don't know, maybe even Disney. Who knows? It's up for grabs at this point. So unfortunately, what that means is if you were counting on the Alicia Vikander sequel, that's not gonna happen because the rights are gone. They're done. So because MGM ain't got it no more, she cannot be attached to the project, which means they're gonna have to reboot it again, and they're gonna have to recast the character again. So I don't know if that's good news, bad news, but hey, they're gonna do another one. So if you had your heart set on it, sorry. But just get ready for yet another Tomb Raider coming soon. Because again, these franchises and studios, they love recognizable IPs. Somebody's gonna jump on this and pay a lot of money because they absolutely want recognizable, franchises or IPs because they know people will go and pay for it. So I don't know. Y'all let me know. How do you feel about Tomb Raider? Did you like the last one? And are you looking forward to another one? Like, do you want to see a certain actress play Lara Croft? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right, so we got that. Okay, so this right here. All right, let's talk about Prey real quick. Because again, I was on vacation, so I didn't get a chance to really talk to y'all about this. So Prey is the latest iteration of within the franchise of the Predator, right? So, get to the chopper, Arnold Schwarzenegger, all that, right? Prey has debuted on Hulu, and if you have not seen it, I'd recommend that you do. In my opinion, Prey was I'd probably say it's the second best in the Predator franchise. I still have the first Predator right there on number one. And I have Prey right there as the second one. And then I would have to, it's kind of a toss up between Predator 2 and maybe Predators with Adrian Brody. They're kind of tied for third, and then the rest, whatever. I don't care. I don't care about the rest. I watch them all. I watch every single one. I'm a Predator fan. But the Predator that came out before this was trash. The one where the big Predator was hunting the other, it was trash. But anyway, Prey, very good movie. I liked it. Good action. Loved how they kept the authenticity of the Native Americans and everything. The story I thought was cool. That was, the CGI was a little wonky or whatever, but whatever. Hey, this is a streaming movie. What are you gonna do? Whatever. But I would absolutely recommend Prey. Now, the reason why I bring up Prey is because once Prey came out, it revitalized people online to be like, oh my gosh, the Predator franchise is back, right? And one of the things that people were thinking about was like, yo, if we're going to do a Predator franchise, if there's going to be another one, because Prey takes place in like 1719 or something like that. It goes back in time, and it's like when the Predators are maybe first time they came, maybe when they came and they were going against Native Americans, right? And what was really cool about it, and what people were really liking was the fact that this was Hunter versus Hunter, etc. And one of the things that kind of took off online was people were making mention of how the sequel should actually star a different historical period, right? And one of the things that people were saying was like, yo, the next Predator sequel should be against the samurai, and it should star the Mortal Kombat actor Hiroyuki Sanada. And let me say this straight up, I love this actor. Okay, he was one of the best parts. He played Scorpion in the last Mortal Kombat movie, but he's a fantastic actor, and I think that it would be very interesting to see a samurai go against a Predator. But let me say something real quick. While it is interesting, and I know a lot of people are excited, ooh, a samurai versus Predator, ooh. Let me just say, that's not the best story that you can tell. Because if you think about it, a samurai, okay, now unless we getting into the anime samurai, unless we talking about Afro samurai or Samurai Jack, or unless we sitting here talking about Samurai Champloo, like unless we going there, traditional samurais versus a Predator, in my opinion, is not going to be a great movie. And I'm going to tell you why. Because what makes the Predator series, any good to great Predator movie, what makes them great is a battle of wits. And the wits have to be between Hunter and Hunter, okay? Samurai are not, and again, hey, if anybody wants to correct me, that's totally fine. I am not acting like a historian here, okay? But from what I've seen and the loose things I've read, samurai are kind of like Japanese knights. Like they are very dignified positions in feudal Japan during that era, and they're swordsmen, right? They don't come off as very good matchups for hunters. Okay. Now, if you were to sit here and tell me that a Predator and a Predator had a blade and a sword and they wanted to go one-on-one with a samurai, okay, cool. But that does not, in my opinion, constitute a good movie. I think that constitutes a good scene. So let me paint the picture in my, for me, what I think a better Prey sequel or Predator franchise movie would be. And I would say this, because the Predator franchise is best with Hunter versus Hunter, skill versus skill, throw in some ninjas. Y'all, ninjas are one of the best things in everything. You can never, ever, ever go wrong by throwing in ninjas. Ninja versus a Predator? That is a movie that everyone will really, really love. That is a movie that will really have everybody sitting there just like for real going crazy. Now, let me throw something up here because I want to explain why this can be a little bit better. And I am not gonna act like this is like the most credible site or whatever. I just typed in ninja history, so please just go with this. We're gonna use our imagination for the sake of a Predator versus Ninja movie, and I'm gonna try and paint the picture for you here. Now, when you think about ninjas, I want you to think about this. They were a type of warrior who specialized in unconventional warfare, such as infiltration, sabotage, and assassination during the age of the samurai. Another way of calling them is shinobi, those who act in stealth. Ninja employ deception and forgery tactics to take opponents out by surprise. Due to their unorthodox methods, which contradicted the way of the warrior, ninja were not credited with the same honor as samurai. And I'm going to go on with a little bit more. The diverse range of skills practiced by the ninja is called ninjutsu, the art of stealth, and includes training in armed combat, weapon technology, military strategy, meteorology, geometry, and breathing synthesis. Ninjutsu was passed down through the generations within families and directly from teacher to a selected one or few disciples. What? Let me tell you something. Okay? That is literally the best combatant against a predator. Can you imagine? The predator got the cloaking technology, but then a ninja's actually got natural resources and hiding in natural bushes and stuff. What? The predator setting up traps, but the ninja setting up other booby traps? What? The predator's trying to assassinate the ninja's behind them trying to assassinate him. Smoke bombs every ninja vanish. What? Do y'all want a $1 or not? Ninjas versus predators is all you need. And here's the thing. You can still keep the samurai because remember what we just read in there, right? That ninjas were just, because they fought unorthodox, because they fought dirty, basically, they could not be samurai. So what if you throw in the samurai in there? And while maybe this great samurai person dies at the hands of the predator, maybe the samurai student was like, man, my master died. I'm about to go train under these ninjas because clearly the master's tactics didn't work. And now this person becomes a ninja and they go head to head with the predator. And here's the other thing too. One thing, and one of the reasons why I say that this would be fantastic for a movie is because what we've seen so far in Prey, and I'm trying not to spoil nothing. One thing that's actually pretty cool is the predators influence history. Okay, so there are certain things that the predators interact with in history that could loosely inform human history. When it comes to the mythology or the legend of ninjas, there are some ninjas, or some stories that say that ninjas are able to vanish and disappear. Some say that ninjas are able to do natural elements and manipulation. Some say that ninjas can run on water. Imagine if a lot of those legends were informed because a ninja in history actually fought against a predator. Because this ninja fought against a predator, maybe that ninja steals some of the alien technology that allows him to walk on water. Maybe they steal the cloaking technology and they find a way to manipulate that. All I'm saying is there is so much material, and I don't care about giving this idea out there because, first of all, I got this on video, so lawsuit. But anyway, I'm saying all this because I want to see it. I want to see Predators versus Ninja. That's it. So I'm just saying, you do this, you're going to make a whole lot of money because I guarantee you can never go wrong by throwing in some ninjas. Anyway, that's my thought of what they really should do. So forget the samurai, make it ninjas, and you're going to have a winner. But anyway, y'all let me know, how do you feel about a Predator sequel about a samurai? Do you want the samurai story? Or, I know I gave you a whole lot of reasons here, would you like a ninja story against the Predators? And by the way, let me give a quick honorable mention. I wouldn't mind seeing something with the Vikings. The Vikings would also be a pretty cool story as well if they ended up doing that. But I'm just sitting here like, yo, give me the ninjas. I will pay money for ninjas all the time. And if you can also find a way to connect it to history and legend and myth and stuff like that, you got a winner right there. So anyway, y'all let me know how's it going and how you feel about that. All right. Let's see. You know, sometimes you gotta take them little things online and take it up a notch. You know, you gotta be like, yeah, I know y'all was in. I know y'all like that samurai thing. That samurai thing was cool, but you put in some ninjas, you put in some weapons and some hand-to-hand combat. Man. That's gonna be something. All right, let's see. Hold on, I'm scrolling up. I saw a lot. What? Puma, Tyrese is Laura Croft. Puma, what you drinking? Put the drinks down. Put them down. Put them down, Puma. I don't know where did that come from? Room full of nerds. The homie, Woman King, the Dami Amazon women versus Predator. That would be a good one too. Look, y'all can put them against a African tribe. You know, I'm fine with that. That'll work. Let's see. Puma, I'm not gonna highlight that one just because it is kind of a spoiler and I don't want to mess that up for anyone that has not seen the movie yet, so I'm not gonna highlight that. But thank you so much for that. Let's see. Low-key, I'm sold. Hey, good. I'm happy that you on with it. That is good. Thank you so much. Let's see. J. Mark Craven versus Predator. That will make a gazillion dollars. Let's go, Sony. Who owns Predator? Do they own it? Do the Sony own Predator? I forget who, but no, they don't. No, because that was under 20th Century since since Disney basically owns Predator at this point after buying out Fox. So Sony can't do it even if they wanted to. Well, wait a minute. Unless they do some other deal with Marvel, maybe. I don't know. That's a stretch though. But anyway, I'll watch that. I'll watch it. Thank you so much for that. Let's see. Buzz, Predator versus Jason, Michael Myers, and Freddy Krueger. That's not really fair though. You know, and the only reason I say it's not fair is because, like, you know, we seen Freddy versus Jason, and they deal with like supernatural stuff, and the Predator's just gonna lose. They would just lose. So I wouldn't want to set the Predator up to lose that easily. But anyway, thank you for that, Buzz. Appreciate you. All right, let's move on. Okay, so a lot of y'all, I don't know in this chat or not, but a lot of y'all have talked about John Boyega. If y'all recall, he has been Finn in Star Wars. You know, y'all might remember him from Attack the Block. A lot of y'all have talked about him potentially playing a role in Marvel. You know, some people have said he should be T'Challa. Some people have said that he would be good as Blue Marvel. Boyega actually responded to some of the calls for him to join Marvel, and here's what he had to say. He rejects Marvel for now, and says, I want fresh ideas. You can't top Iron Man anyway. Let's see what he says. He says, that's not in the vision for me now. He said about Marvel movies, I want to do nuanced things. I want to donate my services to original indie films that come with new, fresh ideas, because I know it's real hard to top Iron Man in that universe. Let's see what else he said. So his agent said that for John, it was never about trying to fit in the box. He wants to be the outline of the box. The article goes on to say Boyega, has purposely avoided playing enslaved people and drug dealers on screen in order to disrupt the system for black performers. Okay. He said it's all about accountability. He doesn't want to be defined by any stereotypical roles. Yo, I can respect that. As much as I do think he would be pretty cool in Marvel, I totally respect the fact that one, he doesn't want to be stereotyped. Two, he doesn't want to add to those stereotypes. And three, he just wants to do different things. No problem with that whatsoever. So I think that's really cool. Now, hey, this also could be a negotiation tactic. It could be. Sometimes the way you get people going is by saying no. Be like, no, I don't want it. No, I don't want it. Until they start knocking on your door, and then you be like, what you talking about though? So I don't know. But so far, I will say that I do appreciate what he is working towards and what he is standing for in terms of his representation on screen. Like that's fine. But anywho, y'all let me know. How do you feel about John Boyega not being in Marvel and passing on that for now? He didn't say forever, just said for now. Y'all let me know how you feel about it. All right. Let's see what we got. Puma, Predator versus Mortal Kombat. I think Predator's actually in Mortal Kombat, if I'm not mistaken, right? Isn't he? But yep, that works. I'll take it. Thank you so much. Let's see. Predator versus Leprechaun from the Hood. Yikes. I want me gold. Sure, whatever. If that's what y'all want, fine. Let's see. Black Widow. Thank you so much. Predator versus Black Widow. Yo, that'd work too. Hey, if they ever want it, they got the rights to do it. I think that'll be cool too. That's more of a modern day ninja. So sure. Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, I think that'll work. But thank you so much for that. All right, let's move on. Didier, what you got? He could still be salty about Star Wars, also owned by Disney. Possible. I did think about that, but I'm gonna take him for his word, but you could be right too. You could be right. All right, here we go. We're gonna stay on the Marvel bandwagon here. Eternals. So, if you've seen Eternals, I think Eternals was mediocre, in my opinion. It just was. It didn't move me. I do have my review on my channel, so you can definitely go check that out. But I didn't particularly care for Eternals like that. Now I don't agree that it's one of Marvel's worst movies. People were saying it was like the worst, and I'm like, have y'all seen Captain Marvel? Have y'all seen like Thor 2? Like, stop it. But I also was under the impression that if y'all do another Eternals, y'all gonna have to move on, because clearly I don't think it's a good move to keep doing something that has people so divided, right? Like, it's fine to try new things, but you usually want to lean into something that starts to appeal to more people than divide them. But anyway, we got an update recently. I don't know if this was accidental. I don't know. I doubt it was intentional. But one of the stars of Eternals, Patton Oswalt, apparently he let a little update slip on the Today Show. He ended up saying he might have confirmed some Eternal 2 rumors. So one thing that he ended up saying was they have announced that there's going to be an Eternal sequel, and Chloe Zhao is going to direct it. Wow. So here's the funny thing about this. During this interview, I think it was Al Roker or somebody, they just kind of like Patton Oswalt, I think he failed the Marvel training. Marvel literally, and I'm not joking, this is according to other actors, they train you on how to do PR so that you don't spoil things. And I think Patton failed. I think he skipped the class because one of the reporters on there, I think it was Al Roker, was like, man, I heard that there was going to be an Eternals 2. And Patton was like, oh, word? Oh, y'all know about that? Oh, okay. Yeah. Eternals 2 is coming and Chloe Zhao coming back. Gotcha. It's like, gotcha. Kevin Feige, like, God, son of a. So it looks like that got slipped. My guess is that might have been something that would have been announced during D23 or something like that, because even in Comic-Con we didn't hear nothing about Eternals, but there's a good chance that now we probably will, especially after this little slip up. But I do not know how I feel. I'm not even gonna lie, I don't want Chloe Zhao back. I just don't. I didn't like her style in this. Now, I'm not trying to knock people that liked it. I'm just saying it didn't work for me. I didn't think that her approach to Eternals worked. She wanted us to connect with these characters and the relationships. And I'm like, you have too many characters. The tension was divided. The relationship really didn't feel, it was just all over the place. It just was not built up properly. The action scenes were kind of dull, in my opinion, because they were repetitive. But to bring her back, I don't know. I just don't know if she's a good fit for what the MCU tries to do. Again, Eternals split a lot of people. So it's like, do you want to double down on that? Or, and let's be optimistic about it, maybe she learned some things. Maybe, she was like, oh, okay, I'm going to do something different this time. Maybe. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. I hope that, with any director, if you did something, you always try to improve it. I'm just hoping this ain't a question of like, Taika Waititi, like, oh, y'all like this? Let me do more. And then you got a Thor Love and Thunder situation. But I don't know. Y'all tell me, how are you feeling about Eternals 2 coming back with Chloe Zhao? Are you excited for this? Are you blah on it? Maybe you loved Eternals. Like, do you want to see more of it? You let me know in the comments down below. All right, what do we got? Alib, Anthony Mackie versus Predator. See, why you got to be like that? Yes, Under the Mask was absolutely good. I don't know why y'all want to kill Anthony Mackie that fast, though. I don't know why y'all would do that. I mean, don't say I set it up. Y'all put that out there in the universe, not me. Let's see. Okay, let's move on. What is next? Oh yeah, we still gonna stay on the Marvel bandwagon here. Woo-wee! Listen, now we have talked about this before about how Marvel has had a tumultuous relationship with VFX, with the people that do all the visual effects on their movies. We talked about how the bad CGI in Black Panther, that was due to Marvel rushing the production. Remember, Black Panther was supposed to come out at a certain point and they moved it up and it rushed the process on the artist. So, and then they had to switch over to different company. It was a mess. We've had VFX artists talk about how they've had to work overtime and work under the clock and just not even really get overtime for their work, and basically have it be a very stressful situation. Well, apparently, we have another VFX artist coming out, and they are dragging Marvel again. This time they said that Marvel forgot to tell the VFX team that they moved the Avengers Endgame release date. Oh my goodness. How you gonna forget this? So here's what one of the people ended up having to say, one of the artists. I was still kind of nerding out a lot of times getting to see these movies being made and being part of the whole process. But yeah, there are definitely quite a few long days. The worst was when Avengers Infinity War and Endgame were coming out. They actually bumped up the release date by a month and they hadn't told us. I remember being on the floor with my team, and one of my artists comes to me and says, "Hey, you see this?" And he shows me the article saying Marvel bumped up the release date a month. So we found out from a press release that we had one less month to work on all these shots. Marvel. What are y'all doing? Y'all, man, come on. That's just dirty. That's dirt. How you not at least going? It's bad enough that you're not going to pay these people more. It's bad enough. But then you don't even let them know ahead of time that they got less time to work on your project that you need on time. Woo-wee. It's not a good look. Just saying, that is rough. I feel bad. I feel bad for the VFX industry. Now, don't get me wrong, because somebody did. I had talked to somebody about this, and they were talking about how, like, this is also part of the industry. This is also like, it's just, how it is. Now, I don't think it's a good way to do business. But apparently this might not be, I don't know. Maybe Marvel's only getting the target because they're the biggest company and they're, they got the spotlight, but this is just not a good look. But anyway, y'all let me know how you feel about Marvel constantly putting this pressure with these deadlines on these artists. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think. All right, let's get these comments real quick. Nelson, what you got? Eternals should be a Disney Plus series to explore the mythology of the origins of the Eternals and Celestials in the MCU. I would much rather watch a series than another movie for Eternals. 100%. Totally with you on that. Thank you so much. Let's see. Did you see the trailer for Breaking? Thank you, Puma. Breaking, Michael K. Williams' last role movie looks amazing and will be a hot topic dealing with the VA. I have seen the trailer, and it does look good, and I will be watching it when I get the chance. But thank you, Puma. Appreciate that. Let's see. All right, so let's move on. Now, so a couple weeks ago, and I have this video up too. We talked about how Tony Stark, spoiler alert, dies in Endgame. And the Russo brothers had a big old debate with Jon Favreau on whether or not they should get rid of Tony Stark. And, the conclusion was basically that it was a good death, that it was justified, it made sense, it was part of his story arc, etc. Okay, cool. Well, apparently, the Russo brothers also in another interview, it wasn't just Tony. That wasn't the only debate that was happening, because apparently Kevin Feige had it out for everybody. So the Russo brothers rejected Kevin Feige's pitch to kill off the 6 original Avengers and said it was way too aggressive. Woo. Let's see. What did they say? There were lots of rumors swirling around who was going to die. This is coming from Joe Russo. Kevin Feige did actually pitch at one point taking all the OGs off the board. We thought it was way too aggressive and that the audience wouldn't be able to process it. And that, in fact, picking 1 or 2 characters to make sacrifices throughout the movie might give you moments throughout the film where the action could stop and you could have an emotional catharsis and then continue with the narrative. Wow. So, y'all almost had all of them gone. All of the OGs was almost gone. Now, in fairness, this was in kind of like their little pitch meeting, right? So this never made it to paper or anything like that. This is when they were brainstorming everything, and Kevin Feige was just like, yo, what if we just kill them all off? Because in his mind, he was thinking to himself, they will kind of like be immortalized, like I don't know. Maybe he was thinking there'll be like this big, huge statue of the Avengers, kind of like in that pose right there, in the middle of New York, and it would usher in the um the ability for other people to, take up the mantles or take up the team or whatever, step up. I gotta say, it's very interesting how they view death as a plot device in the MCU. It's very interesting how they do that. Excuse me one second. But I will say this. I think that the Russo brothers were right. I did like the direction that they took with Avengers Endgame, so they, you had in Infinity War, you had Natasha making her sacrifice, and then you had Tony, and it was actually they were right in terms of allowing audiences to process everything. Because I mean, what were they gonna do? Like do a big snap together and hold hands, like Kumbaya, Captain Planet, that thing or something? I don't know. So I'm very okay with them and how they handled it. I do think that they were right with it. But hey, could you imagine if they had killed off all the Avengers in Avengers Endgame? I don't know. Y'all let me know. Do you think that would have been a better solution? Or do you like the way it happened now? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. But Kevin Feige, man, y'all, you real comfortable killing folks off. Real comfortable. All right, let's get to some of these comments. Puma Bullet Train was fire, loved it. Please have a sequel. Okay, I haven't had a chance to see it yet, but thank you so much for that. Let's see. Didier, which guy? Kevin was thinking, I'm tired of paying these jokers. That could have been. I know he definitely was thinking that with Robert Downey. They definitely was like, yo, we can't keep paying this man 70. We can't pay him Tony Stark money for real, because that's what they was paying him. So, so I think you definitely had a point there. All right, let's see. Let's move on to the next one. Okay. So, y'all recall, if y'all have seen it, in the She-Hulk trailer, we got a chance to see at the end of the trailer a quick glimpse of the new Daredevil, right? Or the MCU, the 616 Daredevil, not the Netflix one, but the one that's in the 616. So we got a quick glimpse of that. And She-Hulk is supposed to be coming out August 18th. So that's next Thursday as of today. And by the way, every Thursday we will be linking up, doing a live to do a reaction to She-Hulk. So that's going to be on Thursdays, not on Wednesdays. So we're going to do that. So now that we know that Daredevil, Matt Murdock, is going to be in there, a lot of people were kind of wondering, like, well, what does that mean? Like, is he going to come in and start kicking butt and all that? Well, maybe not. But I know one thing, they just one of the writers, I think it was like the head writer producer, was doing an interview for She-Hulk, and she talked about how Daredevil might not be exactly what you expect. And here's what she had to say. Let's see. It says Daredevil's Disney Plus debut won't be as dark as his Netflix show. Yikes. Let's see. Jessica Gao, I believe, said, well, first of all, we were shocked that we were able to use Daredevil. Like when we first heard that he was on the table, I mean, we couldn't believe it. We kept thinking like, okay, at some point, someone's gonna say, just kidding. Like it's a cruel joke, and you actually can't have him. And it just kept going and kept going. She goes on to talk about Charlie Cox and says, and Charlie is so wonderful. He's so game to do whatever. And he's such a wonderful actor, a wonderful human being. what was so fun about bringing him and Daredevil into our world is that people have already seen a Daredevil who is very dramatic, a little bit on the heavy side, very dark, brooding. So she continues, and it was so fun to be able to do. And we do this with every character cameo from the MCU, is we take them from the environment that you know them from, which is a much more dramatic and action-oriented role, much more on the serious side, and we bring them into our world, and they get to play in the tone of She-Hulk. And they got to explore, and we get to see a lighter side of that character. In other words, get ready for Daredevil Lite. Get ready for you know, a more comedic side of Daredevil. I don't know. I just hope they don't go overboard with it. That's my only hope. I'm not saying that he can't come in there and be a part of a scene that is lighter than what we've seen in Netflix, but they it looks like they about to sprinkle some of that Marvel fun on Daredevil now. So I don't know. I'll also give you this. I have seen She-Hulk, but I can't talk about it until I think like maybe Monday or something like that. So make sure you're following me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, because I'll post my spoiler-free reactions. I think we only got like the first 4 episodes or something like that. So I'll give you my reaction to She-Hulk at that time. But yeah, get ready for Daredevil Light, because that's I don't know. I just please just don't go full Taika Waititi on him. Just don't do that. Just don't do that. I'm hoping they don't do that, because if you force in the comedy, it doesn't work. But I don't know. From the trailers, I'm talking about the trailers. Marvel, leave me alone. From the trailers, I like the tone of She-Hulk. I like that comedic tone that they're going for. So if it's something in line with that, I'm cool with it. But I do hope when they get to Daredevil's actual series, they get back to being serious, because one of the cool things about the MCU is it is broad enough where they don't have to make everything funny, silly, happy. They have enough to be like, all right, Guardians of the Galaxy, you're fun, happy-go-lucky. Ant-Man, you're funny. Okay. But Captain America, you're serious. Winter Soldier, serious. Secret Invasion, serious. Like, you can do a lot of different things without forcing everything to be in the same tone. So let's see what happens with that. But anyway, y'all let me know, how are you feeling about a lighter Daredevil and a different side of Matt Murdock that you have not seen? Let me know in the comments down below. All right, let's see. Puma, what you got? Marvel needs to stop killing off villains. They're more intriguing than the heroes. Marvel better learn. DC will take over the crown if they don't learn. Possibly. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, there are some villains that doesn't really make a lot of sense to kill off so early, like Claw, for example. But you still got the multiverse, you still got Secret Wars and all that stuff. So I would still wait to see what they do with all that in the future. Nelson, don't force funny on Daredevil, Marvel. Yes, I agree. I never like forcing funny on anything. Like, people mistake my criticism when I talk about certain things of comedy. I love comedy. If you watch this channel, clearly I have a sense of humor. I just don't like it when it's forced. All comedy is not good comedy. Like, forced comedy is bad. It's stupid. I look at comedy as an art form. Timing matters, the context matters, the delivery matters, the flow matters, like the style, the presentation. It's almost like rapping. Like, all rappers are not good rappers, right? You know, like you need a different flow, a cadence, the rhyming and all that stuff. Like all those things matter, and it's no different with comedy. But if you're forcing it and it's not natural, it's not funny then. So anyway, y'all let me know how you feel about it coming up. Now, we do have something coming up here for She-Hulk. Now, I am going to give you guys a quick spoiler alert, a quick spoiler warning. This is very light, but we are about to talk about something that happens like in the first 5-10 minutes of She-Hulk, but at the same time, this was part of like a trailer. It was a clip that was released by Marvel. So I'm thinking, yo, if you release it to the public, it's fair game, right? So in the event that you don't want to be spoiled, again, it's not a major thing, but if you don't want to be spoiled while this is up, like mute me or whatever, go to the bathroom real quick. But I am going to talk about it real quick. So that's your spoiler alert right now. Again, it's nothing too major, but just in case. So Marvel released this clip for She-Hulk, and something very interesting popped up. And people are making this connection, and I'm gonna make it another connection. So here we go. Let's see. I'm not gonna play the whole clip because I don't want that to be too spoilery. But one of the things is the clip connects to Thor Ragnarok, right? So in this clip, I'm not gonna play it too much or whatever. In this clip, you see Bruce Banner and he's talking to his cousin, and while they're having this conversation or whatever, something happens, right? Actually, I can see it right there. Boom, right there. You see this big old thing right there? Boom. So while that's happening, this actual, let me see. I think I have the picture. Where is the picture? I think I got the image. There it is, right there. You see a big old ship just get right in front of them, just out of nowhere. Again, this happens in the first couple of minutes of the actual episode. So, and again, apparently they were cool with IMDb releasing this, so it is fair game. So a lot of people were like, wait a minute, this ship looks very familiar. Where have we seen this before? Well, we've seen this in Thor Ragnarok. This was one of the styles of ships from the Grand Master. And recall, this ship was on the planet Sakaar. And for some of my comic book fans, if you recall, Sakaar is where Hulk was during the years between Age of Ultron and Ragnarok. But in the comics, this is where he also did Planet Hulk, and he, had a whole nother life. I'll say that. He had a whole nother life. And so again, comic fans, you know what I'm talking about. But what's interesting about this here is, why is this ship here? Why is this ship coming out of nowhere? Why is Sakaar on Earth? So, in my opinion, I'm here thinking, okay, if we're going to connect Sakaar back to the Hulk in some way, shape, or form, y'all got to be setting up Planet Hulk or World War Hulk. You've got to be setting something up. Now, that could be a TV series, a Disney Plus series, or it could be another movie. There have been rumors that I think, what is it? I think it's either Universal, Paramount, one of those. Whoever had rights to the Hulk, that expires in July 2023. That's right around the time where other rumors were saying that Marvel would potentially start developing a Hulk solo movie, right? Because for a long time they couldn't do it because the other studio had the rights. But according to some reports or something like that, on, I think it was like on somebody on Reddit discovered some sort of copyright law or something, some agreement, and it said something to the effect of the other studio only had the rights for 15 years. Well, 2008 is when Incredible Hulk came out, and July 2023 would mark 15 years where them rights go back to Marvel. So if that's accurate, and if this is in place, this could be a setup for World War Hulk, Savage Hulk, or something of that nature, where hopefully Marvel will make up for the years of failing the Hulk. I've gone on this many times. I've said it many times that to date, Marvel has failed the Hulk so much. And this could be an opportunity to redeem him. This could be an opportunity where we can actually get the Hulk. I don't know. For all I know, maybe he goes back to Sakaar. Maybe this will tie into the comics where some devastating thing happens and it pisses him off. It makes him very, very angry. Again, I don't want to spoil it for the non-comic fans, but for the comic fans, you know what I'm talking about. So we will have to see, why is Sakaar back on Earth? Like, what are they doing on Earth? What connection does that have for the Hulk? And how is She-Hulk going to be involved with all of this? But anyway, y'all let me know, how do you feel about this potential connection of World War Hulk or a Hulk movie series, something with She-Hulk, and how they connected these spaceships together? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right, if you were to have me on mute, you could take me off or whatever. We're done talking about that. Let me see if I had anything I had to catch. Okay. Let's see. Nelson, I think something will happen to Professor Hulk. Yeah, I think so too. I don't know what could happen, but I'm with you on that. I do think something, I mean, as the trailer showed, Professor Hulk, Smart Hulk, is in She-Hulk. But one thing that has been true, especially in the comics, is even when Hulk would go through Joe Fixit and Smart Hulk, Gray Hulk, and all, he'd have all these different versions of himself. It didn't last for long, so hopefully the Smart Hulk era is done for, and I'm hoping by the end of this series we get the Mad Hulk again. I'm hoping, or something close to it, but we'll see. All right, so let's move on. What else do we have? Okay, here's something else. Now, while I was this was also big talk. Giancarlo Esposito. A lot of y'all have we've talked about him a lot, right? So him from Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Spike Lee joints, more recently on Star Wars, it's Moff Gideon. He's also the head of Vought, or was the head of Vought on The Boys. Fantastic actor. I mean, you can't say enough about Giancarlo. Like, you just can't. Like, the guy is just amazing. But recently he has confirmed, and I think this was at C2E2, which hurts my soul because I was on vacation. I was supposed to go to C2E2. Or maybe this was at Comic-Con. I forget, one of those things. But I missed it and I'm hurt. But he ended up confirming that he has had talks with Marvel and he wants to play Professor X. Wow. Here's what he had to say. He says, I have not worked for Marvel yet. I've been in a room with them and talked to them. So there's been talk of Magneto. Who else has there been talk about over there? Oh, Doom, Dr. Doom, and then there is Professor X. He goes on to say, I'm gonna go for something that is a little bit different. I'm gonna go and put it out in the universe that it's Professor X. Okay. So let's make something clear first. Nothing is confirmed. He has not confirmed that he is going to be Professor X. He didn't confirm he's going to be Dr. Doom. He did not confirm he was going to be Magneto or nothing like that. He just said that they had talks, that somebody, and that talk could be something as who knows if agents were involved. Maybe this was something casual, like, hey, a lot of people have been saying you should play this. What about Magneto? It could be something casual. But I want to throw something out here for people to consider, because I think a lot of people, I think we all know that Giancarlo has no problem playing the smooth, suave bad guy that we love to see, right? He could play Magneto in his sleep. Because in a sense, I guess you could say Magneto is no different than Moff Gideon. He could be very similar to that, if not better with a twist. Personally, I don't want him as Doctor Doom, only because I think Doctor Doom has more of his character tied to his Eastern European roots. I mean, this is a character, from the high Caucasus, the Caucasus Mountains and stuff. He's from that Russia, Siberia type of country, where I think that is part of his character. So for me, I do think that while I don't mind, race swapping here and there, I do think Doctor Doom should be played by someone of Eastern European descent or connection. I think that character should stay that way. Now, if we were to do a flip, I would also say that Giancarlo would be fantastic as Norman Osborn. You could make him Norman Osborn, and that would be a cakewalk. And you could give my man the butters. You can give him the smooth butters with the waves and make us all seasick. Okay, because Giancarlo could do that. But this is something else to consider. This is easy for him. He's literally done it in all these other shows and movies already. So I totally understand why people say that they want this, because we've seen it. It's easy to say, I want this thing that I've seen before and more of it. But for a lot of actors, they don't want to just be that one thing. And Giancarlo is very talented. And let me try and make the case here for why I think he actually should play Professor X. Now, a lot of times people think about Professor X as the pacifist. Like, he's the, people bring up the Martin Luther King versus Magneto being Malcolm X, that type of comparison. I get that. But it's really going to be something dependent on what Marvel does with the mutants, right? Is Marvel going to continue what we've seen in the 97 X-Men series? I believe they might be doing that, where that dynamic continues. Well, if they do that, well, I mean, Magneto was a child of the Holocaust, or a victim of the Holocaust. Professor X is a really old guy from the 70s. Like, you talking about two characters that are like almost 90 something years old. So I think that if he were to play Professor X, you're going to have to change his character. One thing that is true for both characters, and you have to tie Magneto with Professor X because they are tied like that, right? Both characters embody social issues, right? Whatever that issue is. I guess you could tie in Black oppression with Professor X, maybe tie that in some way with Magneto. You could maybe go that route. But I'm going to say put all that to the side for now. Okay, so put aside any of the get Denzel for Magneto and all that. Put all that to the side. I want you to think about Professor X, but I want you to throw away the idea that you've had with Patrick Stewart. Throw away the idea that you had with McAvoy and X-Men First Class. Put all of that away. Because if you are familiar with the more recent version of the X-Men, the Jonathan Hickman run, I'm talking about Dawn of X, Powers of X, House of X, that version of X-Men, that version of Professor X is perfect for Giancarlo. Now, let me explain. I'm going to try and give you this. If you're a comic fan, again, if you've read that series, you can follow me here, but I'm going to try and talk to the people that have not read that comic. I'm going to try and talk to the people that have probably never read the comic and explain why this version of Professor X would be perfect for Giancarlo and might just blow your mind. In this new series, it's kind of like a soft retcon of the X-Men, right? Because again, Marvel doesn't reboot. What Marvel ended up doing, and I'm gonna give you just the spark notes, because by the way, if you've never read the X-Men or if you haven't read them in a long time, I strongly encourage that you go read that Jonathan Hickman run. You go read the Donna X, Power of X, House of X, because that is probably one of the best X-Men stories I've ever heard. Forget Days of the Future Past. Forget all them other stories. That story right there and how they've redone the X-Men is amazing. One thing I'll just say is this version of Professor X ain't your mama's version of Professor X. He ain't the kumbaya version of Professor X. This is a Professor X that is like, let me tell y'all something. I know that I love you human beings. I know that you humans constantly keep on trying to persecute us mutants. I also know there ain't gonna be nothing that we can do to stop you, except for this. We are better than you. We mutants are more evolved than you. We also know that y'all hard-headed. And because of all that, we just gonna take over. We are going to take over politics. We're going to take over education. We're going to take over the world. We're going to have everything on our own, and you not going to mess with us. Because if you do mess with us, you going to learn the real definition of F around and come find out. You going to know what this means. And he says all of this with a smile. He says all of this in a cool, calm demeanor. Okay. And I want you to understand, this is a Professor X in this storyline that is so tired of failing, but at the same time keeping his optimism, that he's like, look, we're better than you. And there ain't nothing y'all can do to stop us, man. Matter of fact, I got Magneto on my left and Apocalypse on my right. Y'all, they got this in this story. Again, I tell you, go read this comic book. They got my man Professor X going in, talking to the United Nations, talking to the world, like, yo, y'all not gonna mess with us. The only people, you know what? Here's the thing. The only people that was kind of cool, just a little bit, was the Wakandans. They looked at the Wakandans like, hey, man, y'all good. And the Wakandans like, yeah, all right. We don't need y'all help, but we ain't gonna mess with y'all either. Cool. But when I tell you one of the dopest scenes they ever had was Professor X walking up, dropping straight mics on the world. And he came in with Magneto in an all-white suit. And then Apocalypse in another three-piece suit. You put Giancarlo in that role, y'all will be eating it up. I promise. I promise you. So again, if you are sitting here thinking that Giancarlo shouldn't be Professor X or you can't imagine it, I want you to think of all the good mic drop moments that you have seen him do in other roles, but as a good guy. That is what Giancarlo can do as Professor X. If they adopt that new version, it will be gold. Marvel, send the check later. Cut the check later. Anyway, I want Giancarlo as Professor X, because that right there, if they do that version of him, not the passive guy, I'm talking about the mic drop, like, I'm better than you. You ain't gonna do nothing about it, guy. Let's go. Let's go. That right there, y'all not even ready for that Professor X. But the only person that can bring that to life, that can give it that energy, is Giancarlo. That's it. But anyway, y'all let me know, how do you feel about Giancarlo as Professor X if he gets it. Again, nothing is confirmed, but if he gets that role, y'all let me know how you feel about it in the comments down below. All right, let's go back. Dang, man, the bots are coming out. Dion, what you got? World War Hulk would be an incredible movie. Facts. I totally agree with you on that. It would be great. Puma, don't forget Fresh. He killed in that movie. This is also true. Did a very good job in that. Excuse me. Let's see. Famous J. Giancarlo playing any role in the MCU would be the bomb. Professor X would be great. How about Apocalypse? I would not want him as Apocalypse. Mainly because I think, like with all the CGI and all that stuff, you can honestly get somebody else. I think you can get someone else. Now, could he do it? Yes. Would I want him to do it? No. I think, again, he would bring more to the table as Professor X that people haven't seen before. In how I described it anyway. Let's see what we got. Dion, race swaps or mantle passing is tricky. It gives studios a scapegoat route and telling black hero stories instead of developing them. Osborne is a thumbs up. This is also true. I mean, case in point, Falcon. Falcon was an original black character who had his own in the comics. He had his own powers, his own story, and all that. But he ended up having to adopt and ride the coattails of Captain America. So rather than developing Falcon, his identity and all that, now he has to borrow from the legacy of a more popular white character. And it is kind of unfortunate because it's like, yo, why don't you just develop Falcon and let Bucky go be, whoever, or somebody else be Captain America. But it is kind of unfortunate when you do the race swapping in that regard. But thank you so much, Dion. Appreciate you. Puma, Professor X was tied into K Marco, so an African area cave might work for him. Yes, that can definitely work. I would not be opposed to that. Let's see. Okay, what do we got? Inevitable One. Thank you so much. Oh, very, very generous. Thank you. There was a rumor that they would make Xavier and Eric black or ethnic this time. They need to redo their story so the characters aren't 80 plus years old. I love the Attack the Block. Roadhouse was our only movie in DS in 90s. Okay, cool. Now here's the thing. They don't have to do that because the characters will be so old. It really depends on how they want to introduce the mutants at all. Because for all we know, and this is a very cheap way to do it, but it can work. For all we know, we don't know how incursions are really going to work in the MCU. We don't know how time is really working with Kang the Conqueror running amok. For all we know, they might do something where they have the 616 and all the history that we've known so far and the 19999 or whatever other universe, have those combined and create a whole new reality with a whole new history. And the only thing that's going to be new is new to us because this world merged together and has everything all new. They have the that's literally a way for them to clean the slate and retell a new history of the MCU, a new history of characters and stuff. Maybe we do go back to the Holocaust story or to other, maybe they do black stories or something like that. So I would not be tied down because Marvel has a lot of wiggle room to reinvent the histories because they're playing with the multiverse and timelines already. So that's what I'm saying. Just watch out for that because they can do a lot with this fiction so far. Let's see. Cal Payne, Giancarlo in the MCU, shut up and take my money. He gonna kill it. Period. Facts. Totally agree with you on that. Let's see. Dwight, I need Professor X to get loose. Shout out to Big Brother Almighty. All right. Yes. Thank you so much for that. All right, let's move on. Looks like we got a little Black Panther update here. Hold on, let me get a little. All right, where are we at? 2 hours. Okay, we oh geez, 2 hours and we still got a lot of stories to go. I'm gonna try and make this quick though. Yes. So we do have. Oh, hold on. Let me get this first. Laser break. Giancarlo would be a good apocalypse because he is supposed to be Egyptian. His voice would be superb. This also might give them a different way to work with Wakandans. Yeah, sure, maybe. Like I said, Giancarlo can do anything. I just think his talents will be better served as Professor X. But thank you so much for that. All right, so Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. That's coming out kind of soon. I don't know if y'all heard about it. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But one thing that I have talked about many, many times, and you know, if you're just joining us, if you have no idea what I'm talking about most of the time, when I talk about Recast T'Challa, if you see other people talking about Recast T'Challa, we are referring to the viral petition on change.org/recast T'Challa. And I'd strongly urge, if you have no idea what it's about, go read the petition. But one of the things that people would constantly say when we talk about Recast T'Challa is, the movie's already shot. The movie is done. They wrapped production. Why are you still talking about recasting T'Challa? What are you doing? First of all, again, if you actually look at the petition, no one's asking for an immediate recast. But that does not mean that Marvel does not make changes after the fact. And I've told this to people multiple times. I have many videos where I talk about how Marvel is constantly changing things based off of internet rumors. They change things off of fan pressure. They've changed things even in post production. Okay. Well, looks like just like they do with all the other movies, it's the same thing here. Black Panther 2 just underwent reshoots right after Comic-Con. Right after Comic-Con. But let's not forget, wait a minute. I thought it was wrapped. I thought production was done. What do you mean? Reshoots. What's going on here? Well, this was an interview with Namor actor Tanaka Huerta, and he said, to be honest, my life hasn't changed that much. I'm doing reshoots that are like little missing pieces, like the take of a hand, a movement, some new framing, like little things to do at the end of every movie, and that sometimes you need to do them again. As a matter of fact, that same day at the end of our presentation at Comic-Con, we went back to the studios to keep working. So I haven't had that much spare time. I've been working all these days. I think this is my first day off. Well. Like I said many, many times, I hate to say I told you so, but I keep telling y'all, movies, especially in Marvel, they're not done until they come out, until they released. Until you see it on the big screen, they're gonna keep tweaking it. And what is it? We only in August. The movie don't come out until November. You don't think that they still working on special effects? We just got done watching. I just got done reporting how the VFX people were working on Avengers Endgame, and they didn't even know they had 1 month less to work on it. You don't think that they still gonna keep working on these movies? Come on now. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. They tweak stuff all the time. And I've said, and the reason why I bring this up, because I've said for a long time, it would be great, really great for the story, for tributing Chadwick, for appeasing emotions all across the board, if all they did was throw just a little timestamp, just a little, literally a digital effect, right there, saying this takes place during the blip. If they happen to do that, my goodness, that'd be great. And for those of you that are like, it doesn't work if it's during the blip, go to my channel. I have the blip theory explained, and I explain how it is certainly possible, even if you believe that Shuri was blipped away and yada, yada, yada. I've got an explanation for all of that. So go on to my channel. You can check it out for yourself before you go dropping a comment and saying stuff. And then I got to post a link and all that. Anyway, so how do y'all feel about the fact that Black Panther 2 is still having reshoots again, which is par for the course for Marvel? They do this with all their movies. All their movies have reshoots. They keep working well after production is done. They keep making big changes and small changes all the way until the movie comes out. Y'all let me know how you feel about that. Let's see, what else do we have here? So we gonna stay on this train real quick. All right, I gotta really make sure I don't do this too much and not too hard, but I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about this because, again, I was on vacation, so there was no way I was not going to talk about it. But I don't know if y'all heard, but RecastTChalla was trending hard all week. All week, RecastTChalla has been trending. The conversation has been growing, and it has just been a topic over and over and over again. Look at it yet again. After the trailer debuted, this just would not stop. And why is that? Because I told y'all that the petition for RecastTChalla was not about getting millions of people to sign on. It was already too emotional. It's too complicated of an issue. A lot of people don't pay attention. I knew that. But I did want it to spark conversation, and it's done that. So for all those people that are like, what's the big deal? It's still trending. We're still talking. Okay. And guess what? When the next trailer drop, you don't think it's gonna trend again? A lot of that stuff is gonna trend. So just wanted to point that out, that it is still trending. But here's the thing, and this is a good little article. Go ahead and check that out on the movieblog.com. But here's the best thing about this. Because once again, for a lot of the naysayers, a lot of the people that says, it's just a fan petition. No one cares about petitions. What's a hashtag gonna do? Nobody cares. The New York Times cares. That's right. RecastTChalla, that is the petition and the hashtag, is such a topic of conversation. The prestigious New York Times has covered this topic. Now, this is not the first time it has made national coverage. We've also been on Yahoo Entertainment. We've been on the LA Times. Now we're on New York Times. Okay. And this article, I did want to highlight because it was written by Roxane Gay. And if you know Roxane Gay, here she is right here. She was also a contributing writer to the Black Panther series, the comic. I believe she helped co-write it with Ta-Nehisi Coates. So fantastic, right? She was able to go have this conversation. Why? Because it kept trending, because it was a conversation. This legitimizes what I've been talking about. It legitimizes that this is not just a conversation about fans feeling entitled, wanting their little comic book stories. No, this is about honoring Chadwick Boseman. This is about Black representation. This is about the significance and the inspiration that a Black character has on millions of people across the world. This is deeper than any of those other little movie-related social movements, because it's not about me. It's not about us. It's about all of this. It's about all of that stuff. Now, with that said, let me start off by saying I have a lot of respect for Ms. Gay. I appreciate her bringing this conversation to the New York Times and putting us on a highlight. Because like I said, I always intended for this to be a conversation. Because it's a conversation, I'm going to have to address a couple things. Now, I'm going to try and go very quickly with this. I'm not going to go read the entire article. I'd encourage you to go read it, go check it out for yourself. But I am going to talk about a couple things that I think she missed the mark with. So obviously, I'm not going to talk about the things I agree with because, like we're already there, right? But there are a couple things that she mentioned in the article that I absolutely don't agree with. So let's go on. We're going to do a couple excerpts. I'm not going to stay on this for too long. But I do want to address this because, like, hey, New York Times is a huge platform. That is, I can't compete with that. But I do have my own channel and I can talk about whatever I want here. So I'm going to talk about this. So let's look at one excerpt that she had here. She says here that there was no choice Marvel and Mr. Coogler could have made that would please everyone. If they recast King T'Challa, many would have thought it was too soon after Mr. Boseman's death. If they simply disappeared for him for a movie by inventing a reason to place him on a mission somewhere, his absence would have been a distraction. Killing him off, as they appear to have done, has angered some. All right. So let me just say that this is what you call, in logic, a false dilemma. Okay. This is what you call in philosophy it's a logical fallacy. It's a false dilemma. It's basically when you try to create a situation and say that you could only do one thing or the other and nothing else in between. And unfortunately, it's not true. It's just not true. Because for one, let me just say that no one is saying that they have to have, especially not on the petition, that they had to recast immediately. It's sad that a lot of times people jump to presumptions, again, making an assumption without like any basis. They have this presumption that when people say recast, that they're talking about doing the Aunt Viv move. Now, I personally wouldn't have a terrible problem with it because I already know we already suspend belief when it comes to these things. It's happened before in movies all the time. We can live with it, right? But let's just say that's not the only option. Okay. Um, because as I mentioned before, no, you don't have to come up with some random idea of throwing T'Challa on a mission or whatever. You could just make this take place during the blip. Like I said, there are enough spaces and rooms in the plot and narrative to make it work. It's not like everything was tight and concrete. Again, I disprove the idea that Shuri had to be dusted. So, again, for a lot of you that are like, the blip doesn't work because Shuri was dusted. No, there is wiggle room around that in the narrative. And not only that, they did have other options. Coogler and Feige did have other options. They could have replaced Black Panther 2 with a Wakanda series. They could have done that. They could have done other options, as I'm sure, by the way, many of you in the comments right now can sit here and come up with how could they have done other things to explain T'Challa's absence or what they have to do with T'Challa. I'm sure if anyone can come up with more than one option, that in itself proves that her statement that they had no choice is false. They did have choices. They chose to take whatever route that it is that they took. But to say that they don't have any other choice is simply not true. That is a false dilemma. And all you have to do is prove that there was another option. And I think I just did right there. Another comment that she mentioned. This might seem like just another attempt to influence Hollywood storytelling from an increasingly demanding fandom, but there is a sharp yearning driving the movement to recast King T'Challa, a yearning to hold on to what Chadwick Boseman represented, especially among Black fans. There is a genuine fear that without T'Challa, the Black Panther storyline could lose its sense of power and responsibility. I hear the pain thrumming beneath the calls to recast, and she also goes on to say that she empathizes with it. So hold on one second. I will say that she is correct. She is correct. And I appreciate her empathy here. I really do. But the concern is that removing King T'Challa and focusing more on the mantle of Black Panther and not on the characters, that creates a pathway, that creates a foundation for the studios and even the audiences to make Black characters and Black actors expendable. If you can get rid of King T'Challa and diminish their significance by not continuing his story, if it's so easy to say this titular character, this historically rich character, if it's easy for you to say, put that character away, what do you think you're going to do with other Black characters of lesser significance? You know, like, again, there's no way, shape, or form. I don't care who, if it's Kevin Feige or whoever is running it, no one is going to permanently get rid of Peter Parker. You're just not. Peter Parker is a staple. He's a face of Marvel as Spider-Man. You're not going to do it. Yeah, you might have other Spider-Men running around, but you ain't getting rid of Peter Parker. My grandkids are going to know who Peter Parker is because he's going to keep on getting recast. That portrayal is still going to keep happening. My kids just right now, they watching this thing, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends on Disney Plus. Guess what? They got Miles Morales, they got Spider-Gwen, and they got Peter Parker. They could have just done pass the mantle and given it to Miles. They could have just given it to Gwen and let her do it. But they was like, nah, we can't get rid of Peter Parker. So again, the characters matter here, and what I'm trying to say is the real concern of trying to get rid of a character like T'Challa and trying to focus on just the mantle, that's not a sustainable model for entertainment. Because as I've said many times, we don't care about mantles. People don't go to movies for mantles or titles. We go for the characters. Quick example, James Bond. You don't care about 007, you care about James Bond. That's why you don't have 007 movies where every movie is a different 007. You have James Bond constantly. There have been 007s before James Bond and even after James Bond, but you don't care about that. Most people don't care about that. We care about James Bond. Let me give you another example. Bourne Identity with Matt Damon. We had 3 good movies with Jason Bourne doing his little, thing or whatever, karate, whatever, and it was great. What happened to the Bourne legacy when they wanted to kind of pass the mantle? They brought in Jeremy Renner. Didn't nobody care about that? Didn't nobody care about it? Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. We came there to see Jason Bourne, and that movie did not do very well. He had all the same moves. He had all the same, he was in the same thing, but nobody cared because we don't care about mantles. We care about the characters. So again, the drive to try and keep the character going is because we don't want them to be expendable. And let me also say that this also applies to someone like Shuri. I don't want Shuri to become replaceable. I don't want her to be, expendable. I want her to be built up, just like I would like T'Challa to be built up. Shuri has some amazing stories. Shuri, look, spoiler alert, she becomes a goddess. She becomes better and higher than just the mantle. I don't want people to sit here and be like, oh, well, T'Challa's gone. Give the mantle to Shuri. Oh, well, we don't like Shuri because the actress or whatever. Man, get rid of her. Give it to somebody else. No, don't want that hot potato. I want each character to be there so we can connect with them. We can relate with them. I want to see Shuri rise up, do her thing. I want T'Challa to rise up, do his thing. I want both of them to rise up at the same time, do their things on the same big screen together. That's what we should be looking for. That's what we're fighting for. All right, what else do we have? So she got we got that one. What else I have to address? Let's see. She also said, and unfortunately, whichever character and actor takes on the mantle of Black Panther next will bear the brunt of fans' doubt, disappointment, and derision, particularly if the new Black Panther will be, as some have speculated, a woman. Heaven forbid. We've seen this time and time again, most notably in the Star Wars franchise, where actors of color have endured unconscionable harassment for contradicting certain fan notions, and so on and so on. All right. First of all, let me just say that I think that she is downplaying good storytelling. It's fiction. Okay, it's fiction. And in fiction, everyone already suspends belief the moment you walk into the theater. You have the multiverse, you got time travel, you got variants, you got magic. The plot devices erase any and all these little concerns of like, oh my gosh, why is there another actor there? That's out of there. And I've said this many times. Fans are smart enough. Fans are sophisticated enough to also understand the situation at hand. People already know. I would say the vast majority of people walking into Black Panther 2 or any Black Panther knows that Chadwick Boseman passed away. You don't think that they're going to put two and two together when you put a special message up there before or after the movie in dedication to Chadwick? You don't think people are going to be like, oh, that's why there's somebody else that there are too many options and too many ways that this could be handled. And I reject this limited thinking. And it is limited thinking because people are like sitting here thinking, oh, well, if you put another actor in there, people are just going to hate it. You don't know that. You don't know that. That is speculation. And it's really just speculating worst case scenario. What about the best case scenario? Again, I challenge people with this. What if Ryan Coogler came out and said, my friend, my brother, my coworker, all this, Chadwick Boseman will want us to continue, and that's why we recast for him. What if he came out and say that? What if if Coogler said that, Nate Moore and Feige and they said, and the cast, what if all of them came out and said, yeah, Chadwick would want us to continue, and he would want another Black actor to have that role? You don't think people's minds would change? Do you think all this backlash that is manufactured and false, by the way, would really exist if the cast and crew and everybody actually said that? That's why I'm saying this idea that everyone's just going to hate them. No, they're not. Stop downplaying good storytelling and stop downplaying that this could have been handled with a lot better PR. Okay, the PR could have been handled differently, and that could have transitioned people better. Not to mention, it wouldn't have to be immediate. What if they did this for Black Panther 3? You don't think people at that time would have been accepting at that point too? So again, these are not actual, and I'm very disappointed because she's a writer. She's a creative. As a writer and a creative, your imagination is on 10 compared to like the average person. How could it be so confined to think this? That's where my disappointment's at. Like, you better than this. You literally wrote a Black Panther comic. How are you only thinking that this is the only thing that could happen? It's not. There are a lot of different outcomes that could happen. All right, let's move on. We got two more, and then I'm gonna move on this. She also says, for the time being, the filmmakers made the best decision they could. It would be terribly unfair to expect any actor, however talented, to step up in the massive shoes that Boseman left. Let me get this out the way. The new King T'Challa would forever compete with our memory of the original. The successor would be expected to somehow channel Mr. Boseman's swagger and gravitas to replace the irreplaceable. And when the actor who plays the new king inevitably disappoints audiences for not actually being Boseman, he would become the target of intense ire. We should not ask anyone to be placed in that line of fire. Okay. Once again, so many blanket assumptions here. And let me try and go through some of these because, again, these are like, it's sad that people just keep on thinking of the worst case scenario rather than other options. Let's go through this. Filmmakers made the best decision they could. That's subjective. Fine, whatever. It would be deeply unfair to expect anyone else, however talented, to step into his shoes that he left. Okay, I get that. It's not unfair. It's not. Because we don't say it's unfair for other iconic people that step into roles. We don't carry that standard for other people that do these roles that get recast all the time. And again, I don't care about continuity because the average person, the average moviegoer that is not a movie nerd, that is not a comic nerd, they don't care about continuity the way that we try to project on them. Just because we care about continuity doesn't mean that the average person does. Because when it came to Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, and George Clooney, those were all the same Batman. You think people really cared if it was a different continuity or not? It didn't matter. They saw Bruce Wayne even when it was a different actor on screen. So to sit here and say that it's unfair, no, it's not unfair. It's their job. They're actors. And again, the situation could be transitioned in a palpable way where people will be eased into this rather than here's a new actor, y'all better love it. That's not the only way this works. Let's see. The new King T'Challa will forever compete with our memory of the original. So is that a bad thing? Since when is that a bad thing? How many times do we have the conversation? Who's your favorite Batman? Who's your favorite James Bond? Those compete? Are people losing their lives in the street over it? No, it's okay. Because here's the thing, we're never going to forget Chadwick. We're never going to forget what this man brought to the role. Who cares if we compare the two? What if, let me shock some people, what if we have two brilliant, iconic performances? And now we get to juggle two good things rather than assuming the next person is just going to be terrible, rather than assuming the next person just won't live up to it. Why can't we create the space to allow goodness to happen? Why can't we do that? Why do we have to be prisoners of the emotional moment where, like, this is the only good thing we have and can't nothing else touch it? Well, I'll tell you the answer to that. And the real answer is because we don't have enough. Because we don't have enough Black representation, this line of thinking happens. Because this does not happen, like I said, it doesn't happen with other characters. It doesn't happen with James Bond. It doesn't happen with Superman. It doesn't happen with Peter Parker. It doesn't happen with Batman. When you have those characters that have been portrayed in continuity and in different ones, no one sits here and talks about, oh, but the competition and the comparison. You don't have that. Why? Because you have a plethora of representation. But when you come from the Black community, where we don't have enough representation, when we are finally gifted with something as magical as what Chadwick gave us, we don't know how to react when it's taken away. We don't know how to act when it's gone. This is very similar to, let's say, for example, somebody was raised poor. They had no money all their lives. And then all of a sudden, they come into some really good money. They come into like I don't know, they win the lotto or something. And somebody comes up to that person and says, hey, let me take some of that money and invest it for you. That person that has never had money, that finally got something good, is not probably going to know what to do with it. And they're going to want to hold on to it. They're going to be like, no. This is the first time I ever had something good. This is the first time I had some money. I can't give you money to go invest. I don't even know what that is because I'm not used to it. And I've told y'all, recasting is like investing. You take something that you hold on dear to, you put it away, and it grows for future generations rather than trying to hold and preserve it. And that's kind of what happens when we talk about not recasting. It's just stuffing it under the mattress. So yes, I reject all of that. And who said that the next actor had to have Mr. Boseman's swagger and gravitas? Nobody can beat Chadwick Boseman. There's only one. Just like nobody can beat Jack Nicholson as Joker. There's only one. No one can be Heath Ledger as Joker. There's only one. No one can be Joaquin Phoenix as Joker. There's only one. But yet we still have three fantastic Joker portrayals. Not you, Jared Leto. So it is very, very possible for us to have the ability to have multiple greatness given to us if we allow it. You have to be open to it. And then this whole idea of like, if a new person comes in, they're going to disappoint people and we shouldn't be asking them to be put in that line of fire. Again, this is a myth. This is a myth. Because if that new actor comes in and blows our socks off and blows us away with an amazing performance, we will gravitate to that. And what happens if the new actor comes in and the cast and crew welcome them with open arms? You really think that people are going to attack them while we're also empathizing with the cast and crew? No, there are too many variables at play here. That's not how that can work. Last one, and we're going to be done with this. The recast T'Challa movement seems well intended. It is, but the fundamental issue isn't whether or not a role in one movie should be recast. It's about what representation demands. Black Panther in 2018 bore the weight of outsized fan expectations as a groundbreaking black superhero leading a major film. That is an unreasonable burden to place on one character, on one actor, or on one film. Black people, men and boys, as mentioned in the petition, but also women and girls, should have more than one superhero to enjoy and see themselves in. So should people of other races and ethnicities, so should other people of other races and ethnicities, cultures, and identities. We should not be asking Marvel to recast T'Challa. We should be asking it to expand the roster of heroes. We have to think bigger and demand. This is where I fundamentally disagree. And let's kind of go through this. Obviously, yes, we are well intentioned. She had mentioned how it's an unreasonable burden to place on one character, one actor, one film. We're not placing that burden on one person, one actor, or one film. That's not what's happening. When we say recast T'Challa, we're not saying T'Challa only is supposed to carry the burden of all Black representation. That's not what we're saying. That's not what the petition is talking about either. We're also not saying, especially in the petition, that T'Challa needs to be the only hero that Black young boys or men or girls or whoever can look up to. That's not what we're saying. It's almost like if I say save the whales, that does not mean that we don't want to save the trees. That I don't understand how this line of thinking happens with people. We're saying T'Challa matters. I'm saying that T'Challa is not a stepping stone for other characters to highlight themselves. T'Challa is a cornerstone. You build around T'Challa. That is the point. That's why the character was created. The character was not created to be like, oh, okay, y'all got a Black character. Okay, we're going to get rid of T'Challa and then bring on some other ones. That's not how that works. That is not what is being said. That is not thinking bigger. So when she also goes on to say that we should not be asking Marvel to recast, we should be asking it to expand the other roster of heroes. No, ma'am, we should be asking for both. What you are asking for, what you're implying is substitution and subtraction. That is not thinking bigger. That's saying, well, we had one thing, instead of building around that one thing and adding to it and multiplying it, let's take that thing away and then give you something else in its stead. No, that's not thinking bigger. Thinking bigger is saying, hey, Marvel, keep what we got and give us more. That is thinking bigger. That is the Black representation that we need. The same level of representation that white fictional popular characters get with multiplication and addition. The substitution thing, it doesn't work. You don't substitute something once you get it and then sit here and be like, oh, okay, that's great. If I gave you $20 and you finally had this money, you think it makes sense for me to take that 20 away from you and give you a fresh new $20 bill? Did you make more money? No. And here's the thing. If I gave you $20 and I said, hey, give me that $20 and I'm going to give you $40. Well, yeah, you have $40, but you gave me 20 again. You could have had $60. You see what I'm saying? So like this idea of thinking bigger, why are you settling for the 40 when you could have had 60? We should have been asking for all of the money. So this is why I'm saying, sorry, I fundamentally just reject this. And I'm sad to hear that this is like such limited thinking. It's really confined. It's not as expansive as we're trying to make it out to be. You want Black representation? Add more. Multiply the characters. We already are starting from behind. We can't afford to have less. We can't afford to just make side moves. White characters can do that because they are overrepresented. But minority, especially black characters, we can't have that. We ain't even. T'Challa was the first lead in the MCU, and you already want to take that away and replace it with a substitution? Why can't we have 2 leads? Why can't we have more than 1 lead? Why can't we have leads the way that Ocean 11 has multiple stars and leading roles in that? Anyway, I got a whole bunch of comments here, but I did want to take that moment to address the New York Times comments. Again, this is Ms. Gay's opinion. I totally respect it. I'm just giving my fundamental disagreement, but again, I do want to extend my level of appreciation for her sharing her thoughts on this issue, drawing attention to it. I want to thank the New York Times as well for going ahead and publishing this, because they didn't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like they could have just been like, whatever, this is nothing. But I do appreciate the fact that they found this to be a significant enough topic of discussion. And like I said before, that was always my intention, was to have a conversation about this. And again, if you are new here and if you really don't know why I'm going on about RecastTChalla, if you don't really understand why people are talking about it, I would highly, highly recommend that you take the time to just go visit change.org/recast and all you have to do is just read the petition for yourself. Do not judge what you just heard in this little snippet. Do not judge what you heard in or what you see on some Twitter post from some random person. Go read the petition. Watch the little video if you want. I made this super simple, super easy to digest. Judge that. Again, if you are new to this subject, if you don't know what I'm talking about, if the YouTube algorithm just threw you in here, don't just go off of this. Go read the petition for yourself. Again, that is change.org/recast T'Challa. Read it for yourself. And if you disagree, that's totally fine. And if you have comments, questions, or, let's just say disagreements, please base it off of what's in the actual petition. Don't come to me talking about what some random person said about sexist people, because we already reject that. Don't come to me talking about some boycott stuff, because there ain't nothing in that petition or on my videos that talk about that. Talk to me about what's in that petition or what I've actually said, and we can go from there. Anywho, that's all I got for the RecastTChalla stuff. I did want to bring that up because, again, I wanted to talk about it and address those things, because I think, unfortunately, a lot of people just kind of go with whatever is said, and they don't actually hear the counter perspective. But anyway, I appreciate y'all taking that time to listen to me. Go ahead and leave your thoughts, comments on the New York Times article. Let me know what you think. All right, let's get. Man, damn, I'm sorry. I got a lot of comments, I'm sure. All right, let me scroll up. I'm gonna try to get to some of these quick, because we still have to talk about DC and the mess that they're in. And if you are just joining us, I told y'all from the jump this was probably gonna be a 3 to 4 hour broadcast. So we just hit the half hour mark. We just hit the halfway mark. So yeah, hold on to your butts. We still got some ways to go. All right, I think I have caught up. Puma, what you got? Wish Marvel would have did that for Eternals, right? Appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. Dion, T'Challa post-credit scene. Oh, for the reshoots. I don't think so. I don't think it would be. I'm just saying, when I talk about the reshoots for Marvel movies, I'm just saying, if they wanted to, they could simply just throw in a quick scene that says that this came during the blip. That's all. I'm just saying it's not impossible, because certain YouTubers were out here talking about how Marvel would have to reshoot the whole movie and all this nonsense, and that's just not true. There are very easy, tiny things that they can do. Probably wouldn't even cost them nothing to, maybe even a quick line or something that could make that work. That was my only point. Let's see. Cornelius, the least Marvel can do is film an incursion post-credit scene with a variant T'Challa. I'm wondering what M'Baku and Io were in shock looking up to the sky by in the trailer. Very, very good point. That could be possible. My guess, if we're talking about the trailer, I think that's a tidal wave. I think they're about to see Namor drop a big old tidal wave on Wakanda. I don't think Marvel has the guts. Yes, I'm calling you out, Marvel. I don't think they have the guts to give us an incursion event yet with a T'Challa. This is why I'm not getting my hopes up for it. Could they do it? Absolutely. I don't believe that they have the guts to do that. I've already told y'all, I think that they'll probably throw other shiny things at us. Namor, maybe Doctor Doom. Other things to kind of make, they'll probably throw in some feel good stuff as well, but I don't think that you're going to get that, even though I totally welcome it. But thank you so much for that. Let's move on. We got Staggervore. Thank you so much. Whether he's Black Panther or not, T'Challa still has more stories to be told. Facts. Hello. Yes. T'Challa matters. Like, T'Challa doesn't need the mantle to be relevant. T'Challa is just as important as James Bond, even if he's not 007. So this is absolutely true. He has stories when he does not have the mantle. Like, that's 100% true. But thank you so much for that. Let me I'm trying to catch up. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. Laser Beak. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. Laser Beak, not Laser Break. My bad. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Listen, hey, if I say y'all name wrong, go ahead and correct me. I don't know. Look, it's hard enough going through hundreds of comments, almost thousands of comments, reading stuff, trying to come up with ideas and stuff. Look, feel free. No problem. I got no issues with that. Thank you so much. All right, now let's kind of blow through this. Now we about to shift gears and go through more DC stuff. Just real quick. It was just announced last not too long ago, actually, that HBO Max and Discovery Plus is going to be combined into one platform. So you're going to start seeing a lot of the I don't know which one is going to take over. Like, I don't know if I personally, I think that they should have, the HBO name brand, I think, kind of trumps Discovery Plus. So I would hope that they would just take all the Discovery stuff and throw it into the umbrella of HBO. But I don't know if they're going to do that or not. But what we do know is that the content from Discovery Plus, so all the reality shows, all the little documentaries and all that stuff, the food stuff, they're going to throw all that on HBO Max. And HBO Max is just going to have content. Now, I don't know if HBO Max is going to disappear. I don't know if they're going to call it something else. We don't know. But it is merging content, which is kind of like what they wanted to do. It makes sense. This is kind of like what Disney is doing. Once they absorb 20th Century Fox, they're slowly integrating a lot of Fox's catalog to give you more content. So, it's something. But this does kind of lead into what it leads into, like the chaos that is about to ensue. So because of the prioritization of Warner Brothers and Discovery coming together, there's going to be a shift in management. Okay, so we already knew this was going to happen. But the big news that happened all last week was that Batgirl got canceled. That is right. You guys, I'm sure, have heard it by now, but Batgirl, which cost almost $90 million already, is going to be canceled. This was going to be headlined by Leslie Grace. And this was going to mark the first Latina superhero on the big screen. I mean, this was history. This was a big moment, and they canned it. They just straight up was like, nope, we're done. Not going to happen. They already filmed most of the movie. And one of the things that was said to justify this was that the let me see, is that yeah, one of the reasons why was that they said that the early screenings for Batgirl was quote unquote irredeemable. That basically the movie tested so poorly with audiences that it just was a mess. It was just not ready. Now the movie wasn't done. There were still like little things, that tweaks and stuff that they had to do, but that's no different than any movie that gets screened. Like a lot of screen movies might not have all the VFX done yet. You might have little things that still need to be completed. But they were saying that Batgirl was so bad that they had to get rid of this. Now, a lot of people definitely question this because they was like, yo, how can this thing be so bad that you just gonna eat $90 million? So apparently it looks like it was gonna be a tax write-off, and here's the thing. Let me say this. First of all, we've seen terrible movies. Venom 2, Morpheus, or Morbius. Oh man, ugh. Get that taste out of my mouth. We've seen terrible movies get greenlit and still do some damage, right? But it totally makes sense if the movie is that bad to cancel it. Like they must have walked in and was like, "What is that smell? What is this? Oh, is that Batgirl? Yikes!" That like it has to be that bad to say we gonna eat that money, to eat that cost. And don't you worry, we gonna get to Ezra Miller because I'm still wondering how's that still going, but we gonna get to that. So clearly, the way for Warner Brothers to cancel a movie, now follow me here. The way for them to cancel a movie is if it's irredeemable, if it's bad, if it tests poorly, right? Okay. So, shout out, and I'm gonna give a moment here. Shout out to Kevin Feige, James Gunn, Edgar Wright, because they all reached out to the Batgirl directors, um, and just kind of gave them some warm words, some encouragement for the movie getting axed. And like I said, I always like to give recognition where it's due. That's a stand-up thing, I think. These were like emails, and it's not like they were doing it for attention, but the directors actually reposted some of this stuff. But I think that's really dope. That's really dope because think about it. If you're a director, you put your heart, soul, blood, sweat, tears, energy all into a project, and then all of a sudden they like, nah, it's done. Nah, it ain't gonna see the light of day. Nobody's gonna see your work. That hurts. That hurts. You feel like a lot of your time, your life has been wasted. And the directors were very, very excited over this movie. I mean, even on my channel, when I interviewed them because they directed some of the episodes for Ms. Marvel, I asked them, and they were like, I asked them about Batgirl, and they were super, super excited about that. So shout out to Kevin Feige and everybody else for just being a friend, just giving a little encouragement and support, because that question of just axing the movie that's already done was very curious. So because it was so curious, because it was so odd, it absolutely prompted David Zaslav, who is the new boss of Discovery WB Discovery, I should say. And he talked about that there was a 10-year plan in the wake of axing Batgirl. And he also said that the Flash was still on track. Now, there are a lot of articles about this, so I'm going to try and skim a little bit because some of the things are important, some are not. Let's see. One thing that he said, I think this was like during a company investor call or something, as to why he axed it. Okay. While he didn't specifically address wait. we're not going to launch a movie until it's ready. So he's implying that Batgirl was just not ready. Not good, not ready. Okay, kind of makes sense. While he didn't specifically address the details of the latest Batgirl, which greatly upset many talent reps in town, Zaslav emphasized his commitment to building a 10-year plan for DC, a la what former Disney boss Bob Iger and Marvel president Kevin Feige built. First of all, I want you to realize my man name dropped. He name dropped Kevin Feige. Remember this. Remember this, okay? Because what's interesting about this is we've had this conversation before when Zaslav took over, and there were rumors about them trying to get a Kevin Feige like. And I told y'all that's easier said than done to find someone in Hollywood that can give you what Kevin Feige does. Because in Hollywood, you're either going to have, and DC has this, by the way, you're going to have comic book people, Jeff Johns, Jim Lee, stuff like that. You have comic book people, but they might not be that good in terms of making movies. Or you will have movie people, but they might not be that good giving you comic book stories because maybe they don't know the characters and stuff. Kevin Feige is kind of like a unicorn right now because he knows the comics, he knows the characters, and he knows how to make movies as a producer. So finding that perfect hybrid is very tough. Here's something else to consider. Warner Discovery just hired Alan Horn. If you don't recall, Alan Horn was the guy right under Bob Iger, and he was like on the film division, right? Alan Horn was basically Kevin Feige's mentor. Alan Horn was about to retire. He was like done. He was like, yo, I'm like 70, 80 years old. I'm done with this, right? He left Disney. And WB Discovery was like, hey, come on back over here. Come on, just come on back over here. And he signed with them. So he signed over to WB to help usher in their new 10-year plan. Hey, Alan Horn, we see what you did over there with Marvel and Kevin Feige. We want you to do something like that over here. This is a good move. Alan Horn knows how to do movies, and he knows how to scope out talent. It's a good move. If I'm not mistaken, last I heard, Kevin Feige's contract with Marvel, it's going to end soon. And I'm talking about like, there's an opportunity to become a free agent. I don't think it's too much of a coincidence that you got your mentor over there. And if you got Bob Chapek over here taking power away from you here and there, man, WB could make a spicy deal. Look at what WB did with James Gunn. They went over there and they was like, yo, James Gunn, we saw how Marvel treated you. Yeah, we saw how Disney was doing you over there. Why don't you come on over here, baby girl? Yeah. Let's holler at you for a second. Go ahead and sign this contract and sign with Death Row. Yeah. You tired of all the Disney execs dancing in the videos? Yeah, why don't you come on, James Gunn? We're gonna give you Peacemaker. Yeah, we're gonna give you Suicide Squad. Come on over here. Listen, they went and signed Kevin Feige's mentor. Just saying. You never know. So, anywho, thank you, D Steels. That is also true. Kevin Feige was also under the Donner family too. Richard Donner, who did the Superman movies too. That is also correct. But here's some more of what Zaslav said. He said, our ambition is to bring Warner Brothers back and produce great, high-quality films. We can build a long-term sustainable growth business out of DC. We're not releasing a film before it's ready. Hey, that sounds great. That's like, why would you put out crap? Don't put out crap. And look, they cut out a lot of things. Them the Wonder Twins or whatever, gone, done. You know, they canceled a bunch of stuff that didn't make no sense. You know, so hey, if Batgirl was that bad, makes sense to me. Let's see. He said also the focus is to make films as good as possible. He also goes on to say there's no comparison when you launch a film in motion picture theaters. Expensive films going to streaming can't find economic value for that. Hey, that kind of makes sense. Why would you drop an expensive $90 million movie on streaming? Because you might not get the profit that you would if it goes to the theaters. I've talked about this when we were here during the pandemic. We've been talking about this. There's more money to be made in theaters versus dropping it on streaming. Because what you gonna do with streaming? You might get some people to sign on, but are you really, no shade, but I'm just saying, are you really about to get a huge jump in subscribers for Batgirl? Maybe not. Sure, we saw WB drop all those movies, Godzilla, Matrix, and all that other stuff, the Snyder Cut. That helped them jump their subscribers up. That was great for that. But it's not going to be the same compared to the profit that you could make if it goes to theaters. So again, I'm with him on that. If the Batgirl movie is that bad, it makes sense. You want that in theaters and not, if it's made for streaming and it's not that good and it's too expensive, I understand that. He goes on to say that a number of movies are still going to be launched, but with shorter windows. Will always be agile, but the focus is going to be on theatrical. Okay, that's cool too. Let's see. Then he goes on to talk about the Flash. He said, we have seen the Flash, Black Adam, and Shazam 2. We are very excited about them. We've seen them. We think they are terrific, and we think we can make them even better. Oh, okay. So listen, we've heard reports that people that have screened the Flash have said it's really, really good. And he's going in here saying that he's also seen Black Adam and Shazam 2, and it's really, really good. Okay. I guess you want to stick with that, because at first there was a rumor going around that maybe they wanted to split away from the Snyder Cut. Maybe they wanted to split away from all the Snyder connections and just start fresh, do something else. But you say the Flash is cool. You say Black Adam is cool. You say Shazam is cool. Okay. All right. We'll go with what you say. Let's see. Deadline also heard recently from those who saw the test marketing screening of Flash that it's indeed amazing, especially as it involves Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton's Batman in a multiverse, yada, 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 yada. Okay. All right. Listen, sounds like the Flash is going to be fantastic. That's what it sounds like. Because it also sounds like the test screening, the scores being so terrible for Batgirl, making it irredeemable. That's good justification. I mean, don't y'all think that too? Like, if Batgirl is so bad, you shouldn't release it, right? And if something like Shazam or Black Adam tested so well, that should be released, right? Right? Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Batgirl's test screening score was the same as Black Adam's first cut? What you talking about, Willis? Wait a minute. But I thought Batgirl was irredeemable. I thought Batgirl was so bad it shouldn't see the light of day. I thought Batgirl was so bad that y'all had to take a 90 million tax cut. But it got the same score as Black Adam? This ain't a good look. It's not a good look. And let me tell you why it's not a good look. You got a whole domestic terrorist in Ezra Miller running around, committing crimes, getting arrested, assaulting people. But that movie's doing great. And you ain't gonna cancel that. Then you got Black Adam that got the same score as Batgirl, but you gonna drop the first Latina superhero movie, you just not even gonna let that ride. You're not even gonna let it be on HBO Max. I'm not even saying you gotta force it in the theaters. You're not even gonna drop it to let it see the light of day, especially for the community that would have loved to see that level of representation. But it got the same score as Black Adam. So what does that mean? Is Batgirl that good and you just have some issue with it? Or is Black Adam that bad and there's some other like, ooh, it's not a good look. That's not good optics at all. It's just not. So, I don't know what to make of that. Y'all, yeah. What do y'all have to say about this? I don't know if they even have anything that they want to talk about with that, because I don't know how you explain that. How you gonna explain that to the Latino community? Y'all let me know. I don't know how they gonna do that. But anywho, like I said, Zaslav wanted to re-emphasize his whole 10-year plan akin to Marvel's playbook. Let's see. He went on to say, you look at Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman. These are brands that are known everywhere in the world. We have done a reset. We've restructured the business where we are going to focus, where there is going to be a team with a 10-year plan focusing on DC. We believe we can build a much more sustainable business. He also goes on to say it's very similar to the structure Alan Horn, we just talked about him, former Disney CEO Bob Iger and Kevin Feige put together very effectively at Disney. We think we can build a much stronger, sustainable growth out of DC. As part of that, we are going to focus on quality. Okay. And they're going to do it all better. Yada, yada, yada. Let's see. What else did he talk about? There was, Snyder Cut, blah, blah, blah. Stuff with Hamada. Yeah. Yep, he doubled down about being excited about the Flash. Let's see, they go into that too. Okay, so there's, again, these are like very lengthy articles, so I'm not gonna go through all of them. But this is the thing, though. I've told y'all as well. One of the worst things that people could try to do is try to copy Marvel. DC tried that already. Warner Brothers tried that already. You know what we got? We got Batman v Superman and Justice League and Suicide Squad. They literally tried to copy Marvel already. The reason why trying to copy, let's back up. You know who else tried to copy Marvel? Sony, what's his name? Tom Rothman, I think his name is. It's like the CEO or the whatever. He's an exec at Sony. I remember him saying when the whole Spider-Man deal fell through before No Way Home happened, I remember him saying, we're good. We got enough notes from Feige. We know what to do from now. Remember, he said this before Venom 2 and before Morbius. And we ain't even get Bad Bunny, whatever, the El Muerto and Madam Web. They said they had this figured out. And y'all see what they've done after. Following Marvel is not a good idea. Do you know why? Because Marvel doesn't really always have a plan. Like when Marvel started, they were literally shooting at the hip. They was just like, let's see what happens. Phase 1 was completely experimental. Phase 2, they was like, oh, this kind of works. All right, let's throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. Phase 3, that's when they were kind of like, okay, we got something. We're gonna structure this. Phase 4, 5, 6, that is Marvel's 10-year plan. Now Marvel has a 10-year plan because now Marvel has more tools to play with. It wasn't until phase 3-ish that they finally got the rights back from Fox so that they could have the mutants and X-Men and Fantastic Four and all that. Now they were like, oh, now that we don't have to fight with our hand tied behind our back, now that we're free, we can develop a 10-year plan. Now Marvel's doing that. But the last 10 years, Marvel was playing it as they went. So if you're an executive at any studio and you're going to try and copy what they did before, you're not. You must be ready for retirement. You must be ready for another job somewhere else, because that is not the way to do it. But one thing that was speculated in the 10-year reset plan was, and this is starting to make me worry a little bit. They wanted to get Greg Berlanti, who basically was the architect for the Arrowverse. They wanted him to be the new DC Kevin Feige from the Arrowverse. I don't like it. Now, here's the thing. Let me give some props first. Arrowverse was fantastic for TV in like the first 2 seasons, if that. And then Flash came around and that kicked Arrowverse butt. It just took over. Flash was fantastic. But then Arrow got weak. And Flash didn't know when to stop. Legends of Tomorrow, whatever. Did y'all watch that? Every other CW show, well, they are now their own thing. Then y'all had Batwoman. This is who y'all want potentially to lead. I thought y'all wanted to be successful. I thought y'all wanted a 10-year plan. What? You gonna take the person that led the CW shows potentially as a leader? Let me tell you something, because I already told y'all the better route, if you want to do this whole reset or whatever, if you need your Kevin Feige wannabe or whatever, just go get somebody from your animated division. Go get Jay Olivia, Bruce Timm. Go get somebody who's delivered the already fantastic animated movies. Matter of fact, if you watch the Flashpoint saga, the series of all the DC animated movies that take place from Flashpoint all the way to Justice League Apocalypse or whatever the last one is, they already did the Marvel formula there. They already did it. And it's pretty damn good. It's actually really good. A lot of the animated DC movies are very good. Why in the hell are you not tapping those people who know the characters, who literally have made movies, to be the head of your Marvel or your DC cinematic universe? They already have the experience. But you gonna trust the person that came up with the CW? The CW? I thought we was about to have an improvement. I really thought Zaslav was about to come in and do something. But up. Hold on now, Scream Monkey. Up. False. Tell me you haven't watched the DC animated movies without telling me you haven't seen the DC movies. That is not okay. I was about to say, don't do it. I was like, don't do it. Don't do it. Did y'all see what Harley Quinn did to Nightwing? Okay, listen, my kids ain't gonna watch that. Okay, listen. Them DC movies, they ain't for kids no more. I'm glad you was just joking, Screaming Monkey. I'm glad. I was gonna say, like, don't do that. Don't do it. All right, what else do we have here? So going on. Now they did say that Warner Brothers was considering a new Batgirl project for Leslie Grace. They were kind of sort of acting as though, I mean, they were just saying that, like, look, we're gonna find something for you. We'll give you a little cameo somewhere. Maybe we'll give you a TV show. Maybe we'll do something for you. Forget your movie that you already shot. but they'll throw her a bone. They'll give her something. Yikes. Um, but there's even more confusion. There's more stuff that is going on. This is inside of the confusing slate of DC. This is like this is a good article. I would definitely recommend it if you see it on Variety. But it is really, really long. And it goes over a lot of things about, again, how they want to have a restructured team. I'm sorry, they want to restructure the company. They do have a team dedicated to do this 10-year plan. They go into Walter Hamada, who, he was in the middle of the whole controversy with Ray Fisher and all that. But he may or may not stay. Who knows? One thing that was talked about was Hamada had the idea of resetting the DC universe with Crisis on Infinite Earths. So if you have seen any of the CW shows, or if you've read the comics, that was going to be the way that they reset everything. And actually, to be honest with you, I was fine with that. Y'all could have done Crisis on Infinite Earths. I've said for the longest, for years now, that they should use the Flash movie as the ultimate reset button, because Marvel does not reboot. They might retcon, they might change and do soft reboots, but they don't just like automatically change things. DC does. DC in the comics, in their stories, they will just be like, okay, we're done with this, start all over. And they'll just give you a new 52. They'll give you like whole new different stories. I don't know, Barry jacked up the timeline, start over, or the two worlds collide, start over, whatever. So there was definitely enough there for them to reset it, but that apparently was not going to happen. Also in the article, they talked about Joker 2, Folie à Deux, which is being compared to A Star is Born. And they're saying that it is going to have complicated musical sequences. But what I liked about this report was that this is not, because we heard that Joker 2 was going to be a musical with Harley Quinn, who's going to be played by Lady Gaga. And a lot of people were like, a musical, but if you tell me it's like A Star is Born, I'm more interested in that, because I loved A Star is Born with Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. Yo, that one scene with Bradley Cooper, thug tier, got me. But I will say that that makes more sense if they go in that route, versus, because they were saying that it's not like In the Heights. It's not like West Side Story, where Joker and Harley are just walking around and just singing just out of nowhere. Like, they're gonna have moments, I guess, but I'm thinking if it's kind of like A Star is Born, maybe these things are gonna happen in their head because they're both mentally ill, which I'm totally fine if they want to go that route. But so that's what they want to do with that. Let's see, there were more updates on other movies. Let's see, I think the Batman 2 has not yet been greenlit. They said it's going to be years away. Yikes. This is something that, let's not forget, Matt Reeves came in with a whole plan. He came in with a whole plan to basically not only do the Batman, but like have his own, maybe it was a trilogy, but he was also going to have his own spin-off shows and everything. Like, he was going to have his own Batman Gotham universe, completely separate from Snyder and separate from everything else. He was going to have his own thing, but they haven't even greenlit the sequel yet. And he was already working on it. So that's kind of sad. Let's see. There are some positive things that are still going to happen. Let's see. The Suicide Squad from James Gunn has multiple projects in development. Looks like that's fine. Season 2 of Peacemaker, that's still moving forward. Blue Beetle, okay. They do say that is still on track for August 2023 release date, and that's going to theaters. So, okay, hey, the the Hispanic Latino community, at least they can still get Blue Beetle. But other things are feared that are not going to make it. Let's see what else was not supposed to make it. You also had other projects not going to make it. So there was a Supergirl movie or series that might not make it. There was a Green Lantern Corps. Static Shock. That hurts. That's a gut punch right there because I wanted Static Shock. That was going to be produced by Michael B. Jordan's company. That might not make it. J.J. Abrams, remember he had a Black Superman that he was doing with Ta-Nehisi Coates writing that. That also might not make it. We'll just say that, production has stalled on it because all of these things don't have directors attached to them. So maybe there's a script, maybe there's ideas and stuff, but they don't have any, there's no progress being made on these things. And a lot of this stuff is Black Canary. Hey, Black Canary is still in works. Let me just say something here real quick. Out of all the things that are getting canceled, they're not gonna cancel Black Canary. And I'm glad because Journey Smollett is going to play a fantastic role. She's a great actress. But she's in the plans. She is in the plans. So she is not getting canceled. And I am very, very okay with that. Yes, so Black Canary is still going to be happening. Let's see, was there anything else? So yes, we got that. It said more concretely, Warner's had films based on. Oh, so it was a film. They had films based on Supergirl, Green Lantern, and Static Shock expected in a few years. Plus, J.J. Abrams, Black Superman. Development has slowed with none of those features attaching directors. Yeah, so that's just not going to happen, unfortunately. So that is that for that. Yeah, this whole DC future. Yikes. I don't know if y'all watched this. I think some people have. But the Titans are also in Doom Patrol. Those things might also get, canceled as well. It's just not a good look. It's just not a good look for a lot of the future of DC. But at the same time, they say they got a plan. I don't know what the hell this plan is because the plan, I'm like, y'all, I don't want to say y'all lied, but y'all sent very mixed signals with the whole Batgirl test screening thing and Black Adam. You want to act like you want to be like Marvel, but at the same time, you're pretty much continuing a lot of the stuff from Snyder. You still got these standalone movies like with Joker that are not connected to anything. You're canceling shows left and right. A mess. So y'all let me know, how do you feel about DC's plans so far? And this, I mean, can y'all see it? Because I don't see it. I don't know what the hell they're doing. I couldn't even sit here and tell you what they're trying to do. I mean, I've tried to kind of sort of be like, oh, okay, this makes sense. But then another report comes out and I'm like, nope, doesn't make sense no more. So I don't get it. If y'all get it, if y'all have some better insights, please feel free to let me know because my goodness, this is a mess. But anyway, thank you for that. Let's move on to some comments and then we're going to get to the last topic. Dre, thank you. Recast Ezra Miller. Jeez, he's real life Reverse Flash. Yes, Ezra has got lots and lots of issues, and we will absolutely talk about that. Thank you so much. Nelson V, what was the demographics of the screeners? You know what? That's a good question. I don't know if that information was released. I will say that from my knowledge of a lot of the screenings, usually it's a pretty mixed audience. Usually, I'm not going to speak for the Batgirl one because I don't know for sure. I just know that usually, the people that go to screeners come from all different types. So I don't know if that information was released or not, but hey, good question. What? There we go. Jason, what you got? Thank you so much. Release Batgirl. Sound like gent. Hey, listen, release it. I'm fine with it. Let's see it. I have confidence that the directors have not put. These are the same guys that did Ms. Marvel. They're the same guys that did Bad Boys. I don't think that they would put something out so bad that you couldn't even at least put it on HBO Max on streaming. I mean, that was the goal anyway. The goal was not to make it a big, huge production. They knew that they wanted to make it for streaming. So I'm like, why didn't y'all just drop it? But anyway, I don't know. We'll have to see. Let's see. Cal Payne, Warner Discovery did a Scarlet Witch and said no more Latinas, canceling Batgirl and the new Supergirl. They keep saying they have a plan and they F it up. Well, apparently so. Because I don't get the plan. I don't know what the plan is, but like I said, this ain't good optics. It's not good optics to sit here and just cancel the first Latina like that in the superhero genre in one of your films, and there's counter evidence to suggest that maybe you are not completely forthright. So Tyra, thank you so much. Strong Arrowverse apologist here. The stories got weak sometimes, but the crossovers were always great. Facts. I'll give you that. The crossovers were good because I was watching The Flash with my daughter, and I think we're on season 6 or something like that. But it did get more interesting when the crossover events happen. So yes, I'll totally agree with you on that. You are correct on that. Let's see. Let's see. Tyra, back at it. Booster goals should be used for a DC reboot. Sure. Listen, Flash could do it. Booster goal. And listen, time travel. Listen, it's fiction. Just like in Marvel, it's fiction. You could use either one of those and just do it. Yeah, yes, facts. I will take that. Let's see. Didier, DC looks like an NBA team tanking for draft picks. Why you call them the Knicks like that? Don't do that to them. Sorry, I got family in New York. I shouldn't say that. All right, let's get on to the final topic. Here they go again. I don't know. I don't really know. I got so tired. I'm just gonna say this. Like while I was on vacation, I got so tired because people were hitting me up and they were like, yo, Ezra Miller is in the news again. And I was like, for what? And they were like, yo, Ezra Miller got accused again. And I was like, for what? Like, yo, he got arrested or he got the. I'm like, yo, you don't understand. Like, Ezra Miller is like a certain politician that when you say they got in trouble, you like, okay, but for which crime? But for which accusation? Because is it the grooming? Is it the assault? Is it the robbery? Is it the restraining order? Is it I'm losing track. I'm losing track of all the Ezra Miller issues. I I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And here's the thing. Here go a breakdown. Shout out to Complex for doing all of Ezra Miller's grooming, abuse, and harassment controversies. And to be honest with you, I don't even know if they got it all. I don't know. But let's just go. We ain't gonna read them all because if you want, I got videos on this stuff. You can go through my channel and check them out. And it's honestly too long. We'd be here for another hour and a half talking about all the stuff Ezra Miller has done or been accused of. That's how much crap Ezra Miller is involved with. That's how much. Faces charges for marijuana possession. Okay, no big deal. Whatever. I guess this was like in 2011. All right, whatever. Miller alleges an unnamed director and producer harassed them when they were underage. Whoa. Okay. I didn't know about that. Concerns build about Ezra Miller's Flash movie among delays. Footage. Yep. This is probably where it went downhill, where Ezra was choking a young woman at the bar. Ezra is involved in multiple alleged altercations in Hawaii. This is when Ezra was um, arrested, accused of harassment, just terrorizing the folks in Hawaii. Apparently going into one, what was it? He went into some Hawaiian couple allowed Ezra to go to their place to stay. Ezra broke in, tried to steal their passport and wallet. They filed a restraining order against them, and then all of a sudden, they mysteriously dropped it. Nah, Hawaii and Ezra just don't mix. What else do we have here? Miller and the Johnny Depp stuff complicate Fantastic Beasts. Yes, of course. Miller was accused of grooming the 18-year-old activist. We have a whole video on that. Basically, making her parents very concerned, and her parents even filed a motion in court accusing Miller of grooming and affecting this young lady in the process. Let's see, a 12-year-old was granted an order of protection against Miller because the parents thought that Miller was grooming them for whatever, let's just say bad reasons. Supposedly Warner Brothers held an emergency meeting over the behavior of Ezra Miller. Now, Warner Brothers came out and made a statement and said, no, we didn't. We didn't have an emergency meeting about Ezra Miller. But at the same time, they wouldn't make an official statement about Ezra Miller. So they had the energy to say, we ain't had no meeting, but they have no energy to talk against Ezra Miller at all. All right. Well, are we done yet? No, we're not. Miller reportedly has a mother and 3 kids living in an unsafe farm. This was the story where we saw or heard that Miller had all these guns and laying around, and there was like a young kid, maybe like a 1-2-year-old with a bullet in their mouth and all this other stuff. Crazy stuff with these accusations. We're still not done. Jesus. Okay. Then Warner Brothers talked about they might replace Miller in The Flash. We still don't know about that. Miller was accused of abusing women in Berlin because Miller clearly wants to go international with their domestic terrorism. Miller claims that they're paranoid about the FBI and the KKK following them. Okay, what else? The Flash is still a go from Warner Brothers, from the boss, as we read earlier before, because they said it's still great. Then, okay, we're finally catching up. Miller was hit with felony burglary charges in Vermont. Oh my gosh, this like I'm tired. I'm tired of reading all the stuff Ezra Miller has done within like a couple years. If that. The stuff Ezra has done in just these couple years is ridiculous. So now we hearing that Ezra is charged with felony burglary in Vermont. According to the report, police were notified by a burglary complaint from a residence in Stanford at 5:55 p.m. on May 1st. Police found that several bottles of alcohol were taken from the residence while the homeowners were not present. After collecting statements and looking at surveillance videos, police found probable cause to charge Miller with felony burglary into an unaccompanied dwelling. Are you serious? You stealing liquor? You stealing liquor? I don't know what to say. I don't know. Like, Ezra is stealing liquor. Like, this is what it's come down to. And the police clearly have them on tape, like on video. So this ain't just an accusation. This is, we got you. We got you. Then even that whole other situation with the little kid, now you got child services involved. You got child services looking for Ezra Miller for the whole situation with the kids and stuff being kept in an unsafe place, because Ezra has been accused, by the way, of being a cult leader. Now, if y'all recall, when we were first talking about all of the situations with the grooming with the 18-year-old and all that, I told you at that point, sounded like a cult leader. Sounded like a cult leader. And they're being accused of it now. Miller is being accused of having a cult and stuff like that. We're still not done. I'm sorry. We're still not done. Because there was another report that just released that Ezra Miller allegedly disrupted production on Stephen King's The Stand. Now, some of y'all might recall this little TV series that happened, but this was something that also happened too. So here's what some of the things said here. According to Kevin Armstrong, things got bad enough that Ezra Miller's legal counselor and manager were called in because many people on set were feeling unsafe around Miller, with Armstrong describing Miller's behavior as disgusting and horribly unprofessional. Wow. It says that these recollections from The Stand are just some of the new allegations laid out in the Business Insider's report. The outlet also shared that Miller behaved like a cult leader to the people they welcomed into their Airbnb rental. And this is back in Iceland. It's worth noting that during this time, a video emerged on social media of him choking a person on the bar. That was the woman. Hold on, let's see. What did Ezra actually do? Okay. Yes, got that. Yep, okay. Because I remember, okay, here it is. An extra from The Stand named Kevin Armstrong said that around their time, while they were around Ezra Miller on the miniseries, alleging that Miller frequently spat and screamed at people during takes to get a rise out of them. Armstrong also claimed that Miller once told the following offensive joke. It was something to the effect of a Jew, a black man, and a gay man walk into a bar, and the bartender said, "Hey, what are you doing here? You don't belong here." First of all, let me just say, I don't care what the circumstance is. You spit on me, we fighting. I don't care if we playing a role in a movie. You better get a body double. You better get a stunt man. You better CGI that in there. You spit on me, we fighting. Period. And I'm not gonna stop until I'm like done. That's Ezra Miller's out here spitting on folks to get a rise out of them. Forget the offensive joke. Forget all that stuff. You out here spitting on folks? For what? For kicks and giggles? Like, what are you doing? And clearly, Ezra knew who to choose. Because he ain't choose the right one. Because you choose the wrong one. Listen. Couldn't have been me. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. Listen, out of all the pet peeve, I'm a man of peace. I'm a pacifist. I don't even like violence. But I will get violent if you spit on me. It's done. It's done. So Ezra Miller has been terrorizing people on The Stand, set, international, domestic, don't matter. Nobody's safe from Ezra Miller. But during all of this, Ezra still found time to shoot a couple scenes for The Flash. Because y'all remember what Zaslav said, The Flash is great. The Flash is a great movie. So while the law was looking for Ezra Miller. Y'all remember when they were running away and said, y'all can't find me and all of that? Y'all remember that? Ezra was poking fun at the law because they were getting accused of grooming people, and they were getting citations from courts and all that stuff. And Ezra was like, can't touch me. But Ezra managed to go back to the studio to shoot scenes for the movie. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know nothing, so don't quote me on nothing. But I'm like, isn't that Warner? Are y'all liable for any of that? Like, WB, aren't you kind of like helping them in a sense? Like, the law is looking for them. You know this. What they call that? Yeah. Aiding and abetting. Ain't that aiding and abetting? Again, I'm no lawyer. I don't know none of this. I don't know. I'm just asking. Well, all of this stuff has brought WB to basically weigh some options. And they've had to come down to 3 options when it comes to Ezra Miller. And the 3 options go as follows. Here's the first option. The first option they said was, let me get this out of the way. First option was, first, Warner's has received indications that the 29-year-old Miller, whose mother has accompanied the actor in recent days, will seek professional help after returning home to their farm in Vermont after being away. If that happens, Miller, who goes by they, them pronouns, could give an interview at some point explaining their erratic behavior over the past few years. The actor could then do limited press for The Flash. The movie could open in cinemas as planned. Hell no. Hell no. Y'all not about to sit here and be like, oh, mental illness. This and that. Get Ezra help. Let Ezra get whatever help Ezra needs, please. But what you're not going to do is excuse all that behavior and sweep it under the rug and do that. That's what some people, unfortunately, in this country do with white domestic terrorists, that they go and shoot up a whole church of black people, or they go commit these vile, heinous crimes and say like, oh, they were just mentally disturbed. Oh, mental. But then if it's somebody else, you throw the book at them. No. Get Ezra the help that they need. Put whatever rehab. Cool. I'm down with that. I've said that from the jump. Ezra deserves any and all help that they require. They do not require protection. We don't need to make excuses. And trying to give Ezra an interview to explain, what's Ezra gonna say? What is this interview gonna do? You think that interview is not still gonna be something? Oh, and what did they say? Hold on. What did they? Where was it? I think they had mentioned limited press. That's what I was looking for. The actor could do the interview and then do limited press for The Flash. Let me tell y'all what that means. Because I told y'all this before, didn't I? Didn't I tell you that the PR and the marketing for The Flash is going to be so difficult? Not just for Ezra, but also for the cast and crew. It's gonna be tough for everybody because everybody's gonna have questions about that. But what do you think limited press means? We're only gonna give it. I told y'all there's levels, right? We're only gonna give it to the A1s. We're only gonna give it to the top tier press, and they're gonna have spoon-fed softball questions. We don't want you to talk about Ezra. We don't want you to talk about this, but you could talk about that. That's what limited press translates to. Ain't nobody about to ask them like actual hardcore questions. Hey, Ezra, why you choked that lady out? Hey, Ezra, like, are you on medication? Hey, Ezra, like, what's going on? Can you explain why you spitting on folks? Hey, Ezra, can you address the cult leadership and the grooming and all these other allegations? Yo, Ezra, we need to talk. Ain't nobody finna ask him that in limited press. It's gonna be nice, scripted, planned out questions. That's what it is. Now, again, if Ezra has a health issue, if Ezra has a mental issue, if Ezra is like on medication or drugs or something like that, listen, I hope the best for Ezra. I hope that Ezra gets all that help, but I'm sorry, you still have actions that you're accountable for. And if it's not on Ezra, let's just say this is something for whatever reason outside of their ability. Where your mama? Where your people's at? Because I'm looking at all of them too. Where your people's at? If you that big of an issue, how are you able to just run free and just terrorize everybody like this? Here's the second option. Even if Miller doesn't reach out for help, Warner's could still release the movie. But don't expect Miller to play a prominent role in terms of marketing and publicity, nor would Miller be the Flash going forward, as the role would be recast in future projects. That sounds like what y'all want to do anyway. The fact that y'all out here got the boss saying, I like the movie and it's great, and you not talk about Miller at all, this sounds like what y'all doing right now. Now, when I mentioned all those things about the boss saying, oh, the Flash is great and the movie's great and all that, this also was before the felony charge and the child protective services and all that other stuff. That was after. That was all before those new things happened. I mean, Ezra Miller's drama keeps on, like, it'd be like 0 days since the last Ezra Miller incident. So they sitting here like, oh yeah, this is great. New charge. And you know, every time Ezra Miller trends on social media, everybody in Warner's just like, oh my God, what are we doing? Oh my God. They just be pressed. They don't know what to do. So let's go over the third option. The situation with Miller deteriorates further. This would see Warner's killing the movie outright, as it could not be reshot with a different actor. Miller plays multiple characters and is in almost every scene. Scrapping a $200 million film would be an unprecedented move. Well, they're almost halfway there. They killed a $90 million movie. What's $200 million? It's another tax write-off, right? Ain't no way they gonna drop that $200 million movie. Ain't no way. They can sit here and drop a quote-unquote irredeemable bad Batgirl, that movie that was made for streaming. They could do that. But I don't think that they would drop a theatrical movie. Now, let me explain why. Yes, it is true that, you know, you can't go doing the recast right now because recasting means you got to go get an actor and play the roles, and it's almost like doing a whole movie. I get that. Do y'all remember early in the pandemic when WB dropped all those movies that were supposed to go to theaters straight to streaming? Remember that? Wonder Woman, Matrix, Godzilla versus Kong, all of those things. Do y'all remember the backlash that happened? We covered it on this channel. They got sued, or they had to make out all these deals and pay all these other people that, you know, the directors were not happy. The other studios that work with him not happy. The actors were not happy because a lot of times people will sign on a contract and say this is supposed to be in theaters, and if this goes on theaters, maybe I took a pay cut. Maybe if I'm Michael Keaton, for example, maybe I was like, you know what, just so you can afford me, I'm not going to take money on the initial 200 million, but I'm going to make money on the back end. Well, if you don't drop that movie on in theaters, Michael Keaton ain't getting paid, for example. So you're going to have a whole lot more lawsuits on your hands if you don't put that movie that was made to go to theaters and it actually goes out in theaters. It's different to say, okay, I'm not going to drop something on the internal HBO Max on streaming. That's whatever. It's already an internal cost. You not really, everyone that was supposed to be paid probably is already paid, right? But if it goes to theaters, that's a whole different ballpark. So not making it go to theaters, y'all ready for them lawsuits? Y'all ready to have that issue with the actors and you ready to go through that drama again? Y'all just came out of that. And I already told y'all on my channel, I do have the other best option. And it's the fourth option. Reshoot a post-credit scene. All you have to do, you already have Barry running around messing with time. I've said this before. Just go ahead, reshoot a post-credit scene and show Barry's time manipulation or whatever. And all of a sudden his face is different. And that's the ending shocking thing. It's someone else's face. It's time travel. It's fiction. You don't have to reshoot the entire movie. You just literally shoot 5 minutes, maybe less than that, 30 seconds. Barry wakes up, washes his face in the bathroom, all of a sudden looks up, and it's Dylan O'Brien or somebody else. I don't know. You don't think people are going to be like, uh-oh, what's Flash going to do next time? It happens. It's fiction. So, anywho, what do you think about these three options for WB to take on with the Flash? Should they do the interview with Ezra Miller after Miller gets help with limited press? Or do you think they should go with the second option where they just release the movie and act like Ezra don't even exist? Or the third option where they scrap everything and I would think risk potential lawsuits or shelling out more money and severing bad relationships? Or the fourth option, shoot a quick little post-credit scene, recast right there. Maybe. Y'all let me know in the comments down below. Woo, my goodness. Did we make it? 348. Man, oh man. Okay. I told y'all it was going to be a long one. We had a lot to catch up on. From last week. I think I got 2 comments. Let me grab these real quick. J Dot, what you got? DC failed the first time because they tried to play catch up instead of running their own race. Facts. They tried to do too much too fast and they had no reason to go do all of that. They had all the cards in the deck. Marvel was playing with a short deck, and they, how you still gonna get like left behind like that? Man, crash and burn. Let's see, Jen, thank you so much. Honestly, I won't be surprised if the Flash movie were to get boycotted because I think Zaslav is hoping we forget by the time of the release, but there's too much to remember. I don't think Ezra Miller's drama is going to stop by next year. I think Ezra Miller is constantly going to get into issues, or there are going to be new accusations, or there are going to be new filed arrests, or, because I mean, some of this stuff is coming from like months ago. Some of the accusations happened last year, but now they're like finally getting their due process. So I don't think the press, they can't outrun the press of this unless they just want to keep on delaying the Flash movie. Maybe. I don't think there's any way they can outrun this, pun intended. But woo, Reverse Flash is killing right now. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. I think we are finally caught up. Y'all, that is all the topics that I have for today. I really, really do appreciate y'all taking this long time to catch up with me. I'm gonna try my best to make sure that we don't have to do that again. But again, if I do vacation, that's just what it is. But yes, I want to say thank y'all so much for watching. Like I said, we are gonna be meeting again next Thursday for She-Hulk. If you are following me on social media, so that's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, I will be releasing my reaction to the first 4 episodes of She-Hulk. So I will tell you how I feel about it. Unfortunately, I can't tell you now because it's an embargo. And so you can get that. But yes, we are going to we are going to react to the first episode on August 18th. That's a Thursday, and then we'll do that every week. I don't know if something else is going to drop on Wednesday, but if it does, we'll add that to the roster. But anywho, I want to appreciate y'all. Say thank you again to everybody that's commented, left a donation, or just a comment or whatever. I appreciate y'all so much for that. Thank you so much for sharing my videos, bringing people here. I really appreciate that as well. But I want y'all to have a fantastic weekend. Have a great night. Y'all already know the deal. Wash your hands and wash your butts. And I will get to y'all very soon. Oh, wait, hold on. We got a last minute. When you be trying to close the store and somebody want to come in at 11:59, here go a leave. Hold on. Let's get a leave. I'm glad you really watched it. I only pressed because it was made to support the movement. So many of your points. Have you ever seen Dark on Netflix? Yes. Thank you for that, by the way. I have seen Dark. Dark is confusing as hell. I love it. I have not watched season 2 of Dark yet. I'm afraid because I forgot some things and I don't want to rehash it. And I try to look up some things and like nobody had a good explanation video. So one day I'm gonna have to go back. I'm actually watching Sandman right now. So I got 2 episodes left on Sandman, and I cannot wait to finish it. So far, loving it. But hopefully I'll have something. So remind me next week. I'm about to go power through them 2 episodes right now. But Sandman is on my deck right now. But anyway, thank you so much, y'all. Appreciate y'all. I will see y'all Thursday. All right. Peace.